today? Well, unfortunately, it seems like the video game industry is in absolute shambles as all of these studios close down and people are going through these horrible, awful layoffs, except for one place.
Oh,
And that
I'm
place
listening.
was a place that we worked at
Ninty?
called Nintendo. So we wanted to talk about this thing that people have been talking about because of all the layoffs and things is Nintendo actually the best place to work in the video game industry? We worked there 14 years for me, a little less for you. It's okay. It's not a competition. It's not a competition. So we're gonna just a very factual approach, lay out some pros and cons.
Yeah, I mean, you see all the
of
time.
what it's like actually like there.
These sort of counterpoint pieces of
Yeah.
like, let's compare this. Laid off, studios closed, and then
Right.
there's Nintendo who gets held up as this great paragon. And there's a lot of great things about working at Nintendo. We're just going
Absolutely.
to give the very honest take
Yeah.
on what it is actually like
Yes.
to be there.
As with everything in life, there are some pros and there are some cons.
Yeah.
It's not always roses and ponies and
Right.
rainbows, but
What agenda will you be pushing?
no agenda. The truth.
Oh, this will be a unique episode. Though. No agendas will be
The
pushed.
agenda is the truth that I'm
According
always
to you.
trying to
Okay.
tell, that you're always trying to
Interesting.
stop me from telling, trying to
Interesting.
censor me. Why are you doing that?
That's what I'm here for.
Censorship? You can't do that. I want to tell
We did have
people
last
the truth.
Last week, we had the rare cut in a podcast because
Yeah,
we were talking
I let
about
out a
we were talking about some secrets and the secrets got a little too secrety.
I
So there had
know.
to be a small cut.
As soon as I said it out loud, and then I looked at your face, and I was like, I shouldn't have said that. This is why it's not live.
And it's actually something you have said before that we had to cut. You keep trying to sneak that one through.
I keep trying to tell the secret.
No.
I can't help myself.
We can't do that.
If you get me talking long enough, maybe I'll let it spill
no.
again. I know, every time. And yes, and you were like, you know which part you need to cut, where I'm like, yeah.
You know what you
Whoopsie.
did. You know what you did.
Whoopsie. I know, there are things that we have to take to the deathbed, unfortunately.
Yes. Thank you and welcome to our Patreon subscribers. Check us out at patreon.com/KittenKrysta. They got a many day head start
Yes.
on our newest vlog, where we checked out Capcom's secret winery. Yes,
Yes,
that's right.
winery.
In the swanky Napa Valley here
Yes.
in California.
Yes, we are very lucky that we live very close to the swanky Napa Valley. And it's a very interesting piece of video game history that is very like the video game history part and the connection to Capcom is very front and center at this
I was surprised by that.
secret, not so secret winery. We did hear from our friends at Capcom that they really enjoyed the vlog. I was
That was
so happy.
awesome. That was
I was
awesome.
really happy to
Yeah.
hear that. I love all of them. They're just lovely people. And yeah, it is very rare. Like Nintendo, whenever they do something like sort of outside of video games, they're very like, oh, should we make this connection or is it like weird? No, like the founder of Capcom is like, I'm doing this. This is one of my great passions, and I'm going to put it out there, and it's awesome.
Well, it's
great to
especially
see.
interesting because this is like a really high-end winery.
Yes.
And I think a lot of that is about what is the image that you are presenting, because there's like all these photos of him, Kenzo, who's the founder of Capcom,
Yes.
with like Thomas Keller, who's the chef at French Laundry, and he
Yeah.
was the consultant on Ratatouille, the movie. He's like one of the most famous chefs ever.
In the world,
But then
yeah.
also just like all over like their website, or like they have all these promotional videos that talk about the connection to Capcom, which I was
Yeah.
really surprised at, because like I don't know if to a lot of people if this is actually helping whatever image people want to have out of a fine winery.
Honestly, I learned a lot more about the history of Capcom just researching the winery
Right.
and researching Kenzo. And like they have on the winery's YouTube channel, like this history of Kenzo. And like it shows like childhood photos of him and like the beginnings of Capcom. I'm like, oh, I've learned so much about Capcom through this like other avenue.
Right.
Which is such a cool thing. Like, you know, we've been in the video game industry for a very long time. It's very rare to get this other perspective on video games
Yeah.
through this like the lens of like, you know, this person had other likes, things that they like to do. And it's like pretty cool to see like a more multifaceted kind of thing.
This
So
is one of those
we loved
videos that we do every now and then where it's like I don't know if people are going to be I don't know everybody's going to want to watch this, but
I
it's
don't
something
care,
that
though.
we desperately wanted to do.
Yeah.
And we thought was super cool, so we're happy that we were able to do it.
We definitely do. There's definitely videos that we know will be like easy performers for us, basically. Like we know we put a video out that's going to get the views, but there are videos that we're like, we know that this is going to get like no views really, but we don't care because it's something that we're interested in and we want to do it, and it's like an experience we want to
Lazy Nintendo YouTubers are at it again, skimming from the gutter for the content.
Well, we're classing it up in Napa Valley. So that's just a nice little treat for us too.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Yeah.
As you hear this, we are probably not here anymore. We are in San Diego
Beautiful,
for
sunny
Comic-Con
San Diego.
for the rest of the week, doing a lot of fun stuff. And there's a surprising amount of gaming things that are happening. The Rizzler is there.
They can't wait.
Ring the bell, red alert, Rizzler alert.
Can't wait to thumb wrestle the Rizzler.
You're about the size of the Rizzler, I think.
So.
Yeah.
We can go head to head. We can go thumb.
Okay.
We can go thumb to thumb.
Okay.
Me and the Rizzler.
That would be quite a sight to behold.
That would be kind of
You and the
cool.
Rizzler thumb wrestling.
Maybe we can make that happen.
But they got the Wii Switch Sports Resort. They've got these Zelda toys.
Of course, it's a Lego.
There's a lot of questions about what this is. I can't escape a Lego.
We can't escape the Legos.
I saw
what else is
yesterday
there?
our friend who's the owner of Nostalgia Alley, the retro game store he's going for the first time.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
I'd love to run into him and a lot of
so
other
nice.
people. So you'll probably be
Yeah.
seeing little updates from us throughout the week and into the weekend as we hang out there. That's one of our favorite things to do every year.
We're very excited.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. All right, well, we're about to get into the truth about being employed by Nintendo. But first, we got to shout out our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile. And there are a lot of things in life that you don't want to be transparent. Like your search history. I'm looking at you. Don't let me see that.
Clicking around.
Clicking and
Hottest video game butts in
clicking
history.
and clacking away. But when it comes to your wireless bill, you need that transparency because that's the worst feeling ever. Where you get this bill, it's like, A, this is a lot more than I thought, and B, I don't know.
What is this?
I don't know why.
What is this charge?
And that's why it's great that Mint Mobile plans, they don't have gimmicks, they don't have gotchas. It's just high-speed data, reliable coverage on the T-Mobile 5G network, and now the plans are $15 a month, even unlimited. Wow.
That is so nice. It's so easy and so simple, which is what you want with your wireless plan, and you get to bring over your current phone and your phone number so you don't have to be that weird stranger on your friend's.
Oh, old phone, who dis?
Yeah, old phone who dis, new phone who dis.
Don't do that.
Your group chat's in shambles. You don't want that. So it's really nice that you can just import over all your stuff.
Yeah, these big wireless providers, they're always trying to sneak one over on you. So it is very refreshing to find somebody who's like, let's just lay it all out and let's give you a great deal. And that's what Mint Mobile is all about. I love that. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/KittenKrysta. That's mintmobile.com/KittenKrysta. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/KittenKrysta. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra, initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigs may slow when network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigs hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com for details.
And we'll put the link here and in the description below with a QR code for you to scan.
All right.
The truth, though.
So working at Nintendo. So we should say, this is our experience of working at Nintendo of America.
Yes, that's right.
And we worked as part of the sales and marketing organization.
Ooh,
so there are obviously different
departments,
different locations of Nintendo offices, different departments, different functions. This is our experience of working in that particular one.
Yes, I will say though, in that particular role, we did get a lot of interaction globally.
Right.
More than other departments at Nintendo. So I think that gave us a pretty unique view. No, we did not work at, Nintendo in Japan, but we worked with the people at Nintendo of Japan like on a day-to-day basis.
Right, but
we worked with the people at Nintendo of Europe on a day-to-day basis.
If the comptroller of MCL is watching this video and they raise their hands like, well, I have a slightly different experience.
Who's the comptroller of MCL?
I just like the what is
a comptroller?
What is a comptroller? It's some kind of
comptrolling?
It's some kind of accounting function.
Accounting?
Something to do with money. You're comptrolling the money.
Why don't we just not controlling?
I don't know.
Why is it
Sometimes there's a
is it like computing and controlling?
No. Sometimes there's a controller, and then other times there's a comptroller.
But what's the difference?
So this is how you know we do not have a financial background because I don't
if
know.
you're a comptroller,
I just think it's a funny
tell
word.
us what your job
I just like
is.
to say it.
Yeah. Yes. So yes, we did. Yes. The caveat is that we did work for Nintendo of America, but I will say in our particular department of marketing communications, which is our very specific role there, we had a lot of access
For sure.
with all of the other sort of departments and regions of Nintendo.
Yeah, so we're kind of going to do these as like pros and cons, kind of like point counterpoint. But start with just a couple that are either pros or cons depending on your point of view.
Yeah, it could be a pro or a con.
Yeah, starting with kind of a big statement that Nintendo is a cult. The people, when you start to work there, you become part of this cult. And I actually don't think that is that unique compared to a lot of other bigger companies or companies that have like a certain identity or notoriety. This is something I love about my guy Jay Allard when he was at Microsoft. He was like, "Oh, we were all part of the tribe," and he absolutely made it sound like he was in a cult.
Yeah.
Like to a much further extent than we actually did at Nintendo. But like
he was a public-facing person.
You do get indoctrinated into this way of thinking and feeling as part of this unit of the company.
Right. It's very hive-minded. It's very much like, you start to take on the sort of the, like goals and priorities of the place that you're at, in Nintendo in this case. And, you just start to like kind of live and breathe that stuff until you feel like it's really a part of you. And then it doesn't feel weird anymore to you because you have been, indoctrinated and your mind has been bended to this cult. This is how cults work. And people on the outside are like, what is wrong with you? Or like, why are you doing something a certain way? And you don't think it's weird because you're in the cult. So that, that's very much kind of what it's like when you work there, and there is this big learning curve to be when you are transitioning into the Nintendo cult mindset. And a lot of people, like new people that join the company, for example, like new people that kind of start at Nintendo, they have a very hard time with that transition.
That was me.
You had a very hard time. I feel like
You were young and impressionable.
I was very young and very impressed.
You're actually great cult material.
I am. Sometimes when I watch those documentaries,
you want to be in a cult.
I watch so many cult documentaries.
You're dying to be in a cult.
And I literally watch them. I'm like, I would believe that. I would totally join this cult.
Yeah.
I'm such an easy target. But there are a lot of people that we know that tried to join the cult of Nintendo and then couldn't do it. Like their minds were not as multiple and bendable, and they were like, forget it, I'm out.
Yeah.
And they quit. They quit the company.
We saw this also from a lot of sort of like, friends and family around us who would sometimes like see us doing something or being asked to do something. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is weird.
This is weird.
This is not normal. Like, this is not how the world operates.
Or why are you thinking in this way?
Sorry.
That's a strange way to think. That's a strange thought process. Why are you doing that?
Right.
So that was very
right. I mean, that's
eye-opening
kind of like one of the whole purposes we have this channel is to help people understand like the why of these things that Nintendo does that often make no sense
to anybody else except for if people
and
inside of Nintendo.
Oftentimes make no sense to those people at all. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is a major part of it. Of just like don't question a lot of these things because honestly, most of the times these things work out.
Yeah.
These things work out in your benefit a lot of the time. So there's no need to.
No, don't
worry
about it.
Just go along for the ride.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give in to the leader.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another pro-con thing, again, depending on how you look at it, is that Nintendo is a very traditional company that has processes that go back a long ways.
Hundreds of years sometimes. Like quite literally.
And like they are not jumping onto trends. They are not constantly changing up the way they do things. That's why sometimes we get comments on our videos. It's like, you've been gone for like 4 years now. Like there's no way these things that you say can be valid. It's like, oh, you'd be surprised at how little has changed.
Right. And it's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, and like in the 14 years you were there, like there were a lot of things that didn't change at all.
No.
Like there were a lot of things that did change, but there were a lot of things that didn't.
The things that did change were not significant things, though. The
Right.
way that the
It was
company...
not like the ethos of the company.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
ethos, the way the company thinks of itself, the way the company operates, the way the company thinks about big strategy, that did not change in the entirety of the 14 years that I was there. I will say that as a fact. And what's really, really funny is that we recently at Summer Game Fest, we caught up with a lot of our old Nintendo buddies, and
Yeah,
it was
they were
really
there.
it was really fun and like really cool to see them. But I got this feeling, and this is in no way like any sort of like insult or anything like that. Like I think it's great, honestly. I think for me, I think this is a pro. Is that like they seem like they were just like the same. It's like no time had passed. Like when we talked to them, it was like, oh yeah, you're still doing that.
Right.
That's so cool. Like, oh, that person's still there. Like, that's awesome. Like, oh, you guys are working with that agency again. Like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like, it just feels very familiar.
Kind of a place where time stands still.
It does.
In a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
Because outside, like the world is changing, the world is evolving in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But if you're still there, you're a little bit insulated
You're
from
very
all of that. Where it's like
insulated.
we don't actually have to do these things. We got a thing that works for us, and we're going to stick to that.
We're gonna stick to it,
Right.
yeah. And then they're kind of living in this like almost like fantasy dream world of
Right.
like of their own making,
Right. And that's like-
it's kind of beautiful, honestly.
What is the line from your guy Zuck?
Oh, my guy.
Move fast and break
And
things.
break things. This is like the opposite.
This is the complete
complete opposite.
opposite
It's like,
of that. Yeah.
Move slow and
right.
keep things
right. Move
beautifully.
slowly. Be careful.
Yeah,
be thoughtful.
Thoughtful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
minimize disruptions.
yeah, and the thing with that, the wonderful thing about that is like you always knew your place. You
Yeah.
knew exactly what was expected of you. It was a very high standard, but you knew exactly what you had to do.
Right.
And you knew exactly what everybody else was doing around you. You knew exactly what the leadership is prioritizing. You didn't have any questions about that.
Right.
Versus like if you were at some startup or at a place like a big tech company like, you know, like Meta or whatever, it's like every day the goal post is changing and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. So that's pretty hard.
So I think that's you
Yeah.
know why we have it as a pro con is like kind of
Yeah.
depends on your personality because
Yeah.
there are some people who like
Don't like that.
they really like bristle under that.
Right,
It's like
right.
I'm gonna do a thing.
Yeah,
You know.
and there are so many people again that like were hired in as like high level
Yes,
execs.
yes,
Remember
yes,
those
yes.
people?
Yeah.
They didn't last
And
very
it
long,
didn't
did they?
work, yeah.
No, they did not. They lasted like maybe a year.
Yeah.
And they all left
They were like, "Forget
because
this."
they were not able to be in a very traditional process driven environment.
Right.
They wanted to move fast and break things, and that was not allowed.
Yep.
So they were like, not for me, see you later, which is totally fair as well. So it definitely depends on like what kind of person you are.
Yeah. All right. No more having and hawing. Let's get into the pros and cons. So first pro, which is that Nintendo has a plan and is sticking to it.
Absolutely.
And I think this is when you compare the company to everybody else in the games industry, like one of the major differences and one of the major advantages that Nintendo has is like the vision is there, the
Yep.
plan is in place. Barring some world-shaking event, we shan't be deviating from
Yeah.
it.
Even in the face
I
of
mean, even in the
world
pandemic, like
shaking events,
Like, you
they
can see
kind of
that-
stuck to the plan.
that's true. Like a lot of the companies, like right now, they're like oh, we overhired, which is one of the reasons you hear for a lot of these layoffs.
Yeah.
Like Nintendo didn't hire anybody.
No, we
it was
just
the
worked
same.
harder.
It was the same stuff.
Yeah.
So
Or like even like right now, a lot of companies are dealing with like these like chip shortages and all these other like sort of current issues. Nintendo hasn't really deviated that. I mean, they're doing a little price increase, but otherwise they're still like. It's not like they're like, we're not making hardware anymore. Oh my God, we have to jump off of this.
Right,
like they're
right.
not doing anything like dramatic.
right. So this does always really stand out to me
Mm-hmm.
compared to like. We've seen this for the last couple of years. Like Microsoft is just
Yeah.
like chasing the shiny object.
Right, right.
And like somebody looks at a tweet and it's like, well, this is what we're doing now.
The Blade dashboard, that's
Yes.
it.
Oh my God, the Blade dashboard. I'm still waiting
Yeah.
for it, by the way.
And Asha, come on, focus. Like someone asked us, like, what do you think Microsoft needs to do to like get back on track?
Right.
And I think both of us, because we were indoctrinated into the cult of Nintendo, and we still have a hard time shaking some of that from our minds sometimes. We both said like they need to focus.
Right.
And the reason why we said that is because that was what Nintendo did all the freaking time. They were just laser focused on whatever it is the plan is, and no matter the world is crumbling
Yeah.
around them, they're like, no, we're still
No.
keep your eye on the prize.
So that's
you
a
know?
very comforting thing.
Yeah.
because again, like there was no huge amount of panic. There was concern, like in the Wii U days, there was concern, there was worry, but there was not like full-blown panic of like, oh my gosh, we have to immediately change what this business is or what we're doing or anything like that. I do, a small aside, like I do wonder, what Nintendo is doing now is executing the Mr. Iwata vision still.
Yeah, totally.
Who in that company has the next phase of Nintendo's vision?
Yeah.
I think about that a lot.
I do.
Like, who is the person
I do too.
who has that inside of them?
And
I don't actually know the answer.
I don't know the answer, and I don't even think it's a singular person anymore.
Right,
Because
right.
Mr. Iwata was so unique in that way that he had the talent and the perspective to see, sort of this big picture in a very unique way, and that's why he could come up with that kind of very overarching vision that Nintendo is still executing against. But yeah, the company is different now in terms of there is no substitute for that. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to track as they move forward. And they're also like continuing. Mr. Iwata's vision is all this, this evolution into more of this entertainment thing. So there's going to be some differences there too. So
yeah, maybe it's vision by committee.
Yes,
possibly.
But who is that committee?
Yeah, and what shape does that take?
And what does it take?
As it becomes time? I don't think they're there yet, but
right.
Long-term planning for Nintendo is like 10 years plus.
Oh yeah,
maybe
even more,
even longer.
Even more. Yeah.
So that's always got to be on your mind, is looking far ahead. Not
I can't wait to see
next quarter, next month. And this is where like the financial stuff is like they're not. Nobody's
matter.
sweating like, oh my gosh, the quarter. We better get this direct ready for the quarter life financials.
Yeah,
oh no, the stockholders.
The shareholders. Oh no.
Who are concerned with Splatoon 3 disconnects. We better get that patch out before the quarter ends. No, you're still gonna disconnect.
We don't care about your
we don't
disconnect.
care.
We're looking 10 years into the future.
Get disconnected, shareholders.
Oh my goodness.
Con, as part of this, the company is really, as an employee, the company is asking you to basically really stay in a lane and do this kind of repeatable task that is not always the most complex thing, but it's the proven thing that is known to get the result that they want.
It's safe.
So kind of as a counter to this like long-term plan, it's like as an employee, you don't always have these opportunities to stretch out and learn a lot of new skills or feel like you are keeping up with the modern workplace in a lot of ways. Yeah,
you do feel like at a lot of times if you look at maybe your friends outside of Nintendo, you kind of feel like, oh, maybe I've been left behind a little bit. Because they're all utilizing these modern ways of working, or they're going about their work in different ways and getting like bigger, flashier results maybe. And then of course, like in our role in communications, like it's just a fact that the world of communications and the way you communicate to people has changed. Like a thing called social media exists, whereas in the old days people were reading the newspaper, so like there's a lot of things that changes around you that Nintendo is slow to acknowledge and slow to kind of, want to be experimenting with. Like one pretty big example is when you got your big promotion and took on one of the things that you had to do was original content, which is like we were making our own, sort of in-house content. Nintendo Minute was part of that and putting it out into the world. And like there was so much resistance, like, who will want to listen to a podcast? It's like, well, okay, let me explain to you why people like podcasts. Or like things like that seem really obvious that Nintendo was just not interested in experimenting with. Right, and now, especially now more than ever, and this was really true in the post-Reggie era, like Reggie was super for advocating for that kind of thing and like really pushing us as employees to think that way, but that started to shrink off after he left. Right. And yeah, like another example of this is, when we started, we were focused on public relations, and that means you're working with the media, but we ourselves had almost no contact with the media. And that was a big surprise for me.
this is a long time ago. At the time, the way that you kept in touch with media was AOL Instant Messenger.
Now it's Discord.
My very first day, I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go on and tell people, oh, yeah, it's my first day, excited to work with you here, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh yeah, that's blocked here. You can't use that.
You have to use the agency.
And I was like, well, how do you keep in touch with the media? And like, oh, we don't really do that.
Yeah,
we let the agency do that. And there's all these like layers.
Yeah.
By design, like keep away from them.
Yeah.
Because who knows what could go wrong there? Let the agency sit on that hand grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of fear.
Right. And it's like, well, that's not really good for a public relations professional to actually have no contact
and no relationship
with the media and just be like a project manager. That's kind of a different thing.
It's a different skill set.
Right. So if you were to leave that job and go, like we've heard from people who had to do that, who are like, oh, I left the company and I joined the public relations team somewhere else. And
it was a different job.
And oh no,
I do not have
I've never done this.
I do not have the skills for this actual public relations job.
Right.
Yeah.
So we do wonder, like, that's sometimes, like, is that why a lot of people do have that longevity? Because it's like, well, I've cultivated a skill that is specific to, I've become very good at working at Nintendo. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've necessarily become good at the job in the broad sense.
Yeah, the thing that I can never forget is when, mysterious trainer Mike, we all left Nintendo after the office closure, but mysterious trainer Mike has gone on to work for many big companies. Yeah. And the one thing that he said to me...
He's an inspiration.
He's always my inspiration. Yes. Especially when he wears a fake mustache. But the one thing he said to me is that working at Nintendo shapes you into a very specifically shaped cog that only fits into the Nintendo machine.
Yes.
And coming out of Nintendo, he's like, I had to stand myself in different ways now to fit into other machines. Yeah. And it's been very painful and very difficult. And I was like, that's such a good point, because you probably were very high performing, like Mysterious Trainer, Mike, high performer at Nintendo.
Yeah.
Very, very much, is one of the leadership, in the leadership ranks at Nintendo, but kind of had like a bit of a wake-up call when he went to other companies and was like, wait, I can only do this very specific job because I was shaped in this way working at Nintendo. So yeah, there was, when I was still there, like, especially towards like the last 3 to 4 years, like during the pandemic and then afterwards, I really got this like sense of fear. Like I was like, oh my God, I've stopped learning things. I feel like my skills are not being kept up with like the industry at large. Like what if something happened and I did have to leave Nintendo? Right. Lo and behold, that thing did happen. Right. What would I do? And I was very, very scared, and I had no confidence that I could do that job other places. So, I mean, like you were really good because you were like, you should learn to do these things because you had worked at other companies before Nintendo, and I hadn't. My whole career was at one place. And so you were like, no, you have to write this press release. You have to learn how to do this. And I was like, okay. But I think like a lot of people never learned, Thank God I had someone else that was telling me like, you're missing specific skills for this job. You need to take it upon yourself to do that, because nobody at Nintendo is going to tell you to do it. They're going to tell you to be a project manager. But you were like, no, you need to like learn how to write a press release, like go and email all these people in the media, talk to them so you can build a personal relationship, because afterwards you don't know what's going to happen to you. Right. So that was like something that was always in the back of my head. And again, especially kind of towards the end of my career, where I was like, have I stopped learning? Have I stopped growing my skills? Have I like sort of stagnated my career inadvertently by staying at this company for so long? And I really had a lot of those thoughts, and it was pretty scary.
Yeah. So that feeds into our next pro, which is you probably can spend your whole career at Nintendo unless you have like a major screw up. Yeah,
it's super safe there.
And that's like such a contrasting point to all these other places where you don't know if you're going to be around. That's got to be the hardest thing ever. It's like, imagine if you were working at Microsoft now and it's like, okay, you have had these cuts every couple of months. You just announced 1,000 plus more people are going to get laid off in the next year. Like, but I got to go do my job. Like, that goes back to that like Mr. Iwata quote of like, people can't do their best work when they're waiting for the axe to drop on them. So, this is, where the company does deserve a lot of credit of like fostering that longevity and the culture and respecting longevity
Yeah.
is a major thing. Like it's not like, oh, we got to learn from the youngest people here. We got to let them do it. It's like, no, you really respect the people who have been there and who have the wisdom, and the institutional knowledge is something
Yeah.
that is truly actually important.
Yeah.
Working there, because you can't just walk in day one and like boom, 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 we're going to get things done. It is a longer process for them.
It is a very like seniority driven kind of
Yeah.
company. And again, it all goes back to how like traditional and process driven they are. And the longer you've been there, the more you've learned the process. So of course you're going to have a leg up. And that they know that Nintendo knows that, and they know if they cultivate longevity, they'll have a lot of people that are following the process to like a T perfectly. And I think they like that because they're like, now we don't have to train anybody new to like follow the process. Like you already know how to do it. So just stay here your whole life and follow the process. And that really works for them, and for the kind of company that they are, that super works for them. But it's such a thing where it's like you do feel pretty like secure there. You're not waiting for the axe to fall,
Right.
All the time. You're not seeing like crazy stories in the news about like closures
No.
and
I mean,
layoffs.
were you ever worried about getting canned in the Wii U days?
No,
I honestly wasn't.
I was not.
Yeah, that was not really.
They kept telling us too. They were
was
like,
not really
"We're
a
not
thought
going
that
to like
crossed
do
my
any
mind.
layoffs."
Yeah.
They kept telling us like
Yeah.
every month. They were like, "We're not doing layoffs. We're not doing layoffs."
So this is a major pro
Yeah.
of in an industry that seems to be falling
very
apart.
volatile. Yeah,
You're not worried about that.
Yeah.
In the least.
and you can be secure in that.
Yeah. There are if you're a contractor, that's
Okay,
it.
that's different.
That's a different
Well, I
situation.
mean that there is an end date to your
It's
thing.
a different situation,
Yeah.
like, and you're definitely treated differently, and
Yeah,
and
this is
often
like full-time employee.
often in ways that are not great.
Right. Of course, this is for like full time.
But yes.
Yeah.
Counter to that, though, is that a lot of people experience frustration because they kind of stopped like growing in their career, meaning like their level of like in terms of promotions and feeling like they're at a level, a title that is appropriate to their skill level and
Yeah.
the work that they do. Like that was always a very painful time of the year in the summertime when
right now.
when promotions would get announced.
It's literally right
Because
this
there were a
week.
lot of people who had these big aspirations of hitting some personal goal that wouldn't happen.
Right. Career growth at Nintendo was really, really challenging. The way that they handled, like how they did the promotions, was a very like strange process. That was very painful. I went through it. It was really very much like very frustrating. Very like you really doubt your self-worth and your value to the company. You really do have a lot of those struggles during moments of whether or not you're growing your career. If you're going to be there for a long time, if you're going to be an employee at Nintendo for 10 plus years, you probably do want to, maybe you don't want to, and that's totally fine. But I wanted to grow my career there. I wanted to have bigger, different responsibilities. I wanted to, feel like I was like progressing through my career path. And that was a really difficult thing at Nintendo. And it was like a very strange, we got to do a story time on that, I think, because it's a little dicey to talk about here. And so I won't say much more. I don't want to have to edit this again.
No cuts.
No cuts today. But I do want to talk about it in a story time because it was a very weird thing that they were kind of doing there with promotions that I was like, I couldn't really figure it out. You got a more of a firsthand look at how it all worked, and I was like, what? That's suspicious. But anyhow,
There's definitely a lot of like
very challenging
friction against promoting anybody.
Yeah.
Like it was not like, yeah, let's keep people moving up. It was like, no, you got to go through like the gauntlet 20 times.
It was like the Hunger Games.
To even be considered.
Yeah.
For that,
And then they would
tough.
They would do some very strange
Yeah.
things. Like we gotta put like it was like Survivor. Like, let's test them in these different ways.
Yeah, and like you
very
would,
strange.
but you would hear like, all right, you do these 3 things, and it's okay, and then you do them things, and then it's like, well, now,
actually,
all right,
the target's
well,
moving again.
Now it's not the right
now it's
time or
different
whatever, and
things.
you got to wait a whole
exactly.
year.
Yeah.
So it was just a very fraught time, and there were a lot of people who did spend their whole career there who like were at a very kind of like moderate place, and I think they had made peace. A lot of those people had made peace with that and kind of stopped chasing that as part of what they were, aspiring to get out of their job, and I think that's great for them. But there are a lot of other people, especially among where we worked, who were very driven people, who just like you could just feel it day in and day out. The angst.
The angst.
Of like, I am not being seen as the
it's hard.
quality of employee that I feel I am.
Absolutely. And
and it's hard as a manager because it's like, this is, I individually cannot fix this.
Yeah, you're like,
sadly.
I see you, but I cannot help you.
I can do everything I can and hope that I can convince everybody else.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other people who have to get on board, but I can't guarantee
really
it.
Tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a really tough one.
It's very tough.
And like the feeling when you don't get it, oh man, that hurts. That's a tough pill to swallow. So it's very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of time it was not also just like, hey, I want to make more money. It was like the symbolic nature of feeling fully respected and seen.
And also like to feel like you are, the work that you're doing is worthwhile and that like you're making some kind of progress.
Right.
Like the stagnation of being there can really get to you sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you're okay with that, like if you have the mindset where you're like, I'm so good with being like sort of like just in the same
part
place,
of this machine.
Part of this machine. I just really want the stability.
But you're set.
I don't care about the promotions.
Yeah, I'm gonna do good work. I'm gonna focus on that.
Yep. I'm not gonna worry about it.
You are set.
You are the perfect person to work there.
You are set.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can just like stay in there. You don't have to worry about it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. That kind of goes into our next pro, which is that you are working for a company that does have a positive impact on its customers. And I think more and more, like that is a real that was definitely a point of pride when we were there.
Oh, for sure.
But I think even more now that the company has branched out into all of these different things is something that is especially strong. And I kind of contrast it with like, down the street here is Roblox. And it's like, okay, well, that's a very successful company that seems to be making a lot of money, but a lot of what you hear about Roblox in the news is actually really bad.
And scary.
It's like, hey, this is, we got child predators.
Yes, it's like really scary.
All these awful things that are happening. It's like, I do wonder, like, maybe some of those people are like, yeah, I'm cashing these checks, it's awesome, but I think there's probably a lot of people there who are feeling a little conflicted.
You might feel pretty conflicted.
About it. It's
like my product is hurting children.
There is no moral conflict of working at Nintendo.
Not at all.
It's like, no, we are doing the mission, putting these smiles on the faces so hard, slapping them on these people's faces.
But in a gentle way.
In a nice, friendly way.
Yes, yes. And people love Nintendo. When you tell people that you work at Nintendo, that's all I love Nintendo.
Right.
That's the reaction. It's not like, I work at Roblox. Oh, did you see the latest
Are you a creep?
Wall Street Journal about child predators?
Right.
Or I work at Facebook. I work at Meta. It's like, God.
There's a lot of companies in our neighborhoods.
I work in AI.
Where there are
no.
fraught moral questions around.
You can make a lot more money there, but you do not get that reaction.
Right.
When you say you work at Nintendo and then people light up.
Yeah.
And also like for you and I, it was like Nintendo was something that was so instrumental and brought us so much joy growing up. We were very happy that we get to work on a product that had such a personal impact on us, and that positivity was like a very good motivator. Every day when you're working, you're like, yeah, I could do this for Mario. Like, okay, and feel good about this.
This one even goes beyond gaming because I think a lot of people, there's a lot of places where it's like, what is the tangible output of what I'm doing? I don't know. I'm just doing the thing, doing the tasks, and it's like, okay, maybe this is making a difference, maybe this is not. Whereas this is like one of, I would say, like a very small group of companies where that is like so visually immediately apparent
Yeah.
every single day.
The cool thing too is that Nintendo launches so many products a year.
Yeah.
I think we did the calculation once, and it was like we
That was a lot.
would ship like, like 50 games a year, something like that,
Yeah.
right? Or whatever. Like, work on X many
Campaigns or something,
a
yeah.
year,
Yeah.
and it was a lot.
Yeah.
And every single time you do one of those, every single time you ship a product, you're like, I see the impact right now.
Yeah.
You see a positive review, you see someone playing, having fun, you see somebody doing whatever. You're like, yeah, I did that. I had one small part that I played in that sort of interaction, and that's pretty cool.
People are loving Devil's Third. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to sleep good tonight.
I did it. Wash my hands of this.
Counter, and this is a big one. Work-life balance
There wasn't any.
does not exist.
There wasn't any.
Truly
Yeah,
does not
Doesn't
exist.
exist.
There's a lot of times where, I'll be scrolling back in my photos on my phone, and I'll just find like a gauntlet of like a couple months where I was like, oh my God, we were doing this, we were doing this, we were doing this, and then we were doing that all in the span of like 2 months. And I was like, how
did I do it?
How in the world was I capable of doing that?
Without being
And you-
significantly ill. And
You just were. You just had to do it.
your body just knew.
You just had to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
And-
true.
It's something that like the company was pretty self-aware of, but it was just like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I remember, I think a lot of companies have this, that I was working with HR on some job posting that we were doing, and at the end they have that, Nintendo is a fast-paced, competitive, blah, blah, blah workplace. And I was like, can we take that out? Because that's kind of not, I don't know if this is a positive.
No, but they have to.
And they're like, oh, it's just kind of a boilerplate thing that
Yeah.
we have in there.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, it's definitely true.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of companies are probably very fast-paced
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
So it's not like unique to Nintendo or anything like that. It's not like Nintendo's like a company in the world that is like this. But it is some place where there is no sympathy towards
The pace.
the pacing. And many times you would feel like you're gonna die, and you would tell somebody like your manager or HR or whatever, and they're like, "It's too bad, so sad." It's like
yeah.
I can't
Not
help.
really much you can do about
I can't
it.
help you.
Yeah.
We're not hiring more people. We cannot do that. Like what is the solution? There oftentimes wasn't a solution. It wasn't
Solution
like,
was suck it up.
the solution was to suck it up and just do it.
Yeah.
And then you were like, okay, at least I said something. And then you would just go back and do it. But you would work like
Right.
12 hours a day. You would be on the road. Like we were on the road. Yeah. That sometimes I'm like, how did I go from LA to New York, back to LA, then to Redmond, and then back home, all in the span of like 5 weeks?
Yeah. It's really something.
It is like how did my body
And-
not just give out on
Yeah.
me?
And this is the double-edged sword of not having this concern over keeping your job, because the company's very careful about hiring more people.
Yes, a lean
So
company.
so it's like, okay, I'll have this job security, but I will be pushed to my limit and
Yeah.
oftentimes be asked to do the job of many, many people. Remember when you got promoted and moved over to my department, you had to keep doing your old job for like how long? Like a year?
Almost 2 years.
Because we're still looking for that person. We can't let you go until we find this person. But you were literally doing 2 jobs
Yeah, for like 2 years.
for this stretch of time,
and not getting paid for 2 jobs, let me tell you.
Really,
How
really
did I
something.
do that?
I don't know.
That's pretty hard.
And you just look at the team that we were on, the communications team. Like when we started, it was pretty much strictly
PR.
different types of public relations,
Public relations.
and went on to become social influencers,
Content creators, influencer.
Original content, all
Yep.
of these things that
Celebrities.
celebrities
Yep.
that the team was not doing at all, and it was pretty much the same size.
Yes, we
in
did
the
not
end.
really grow
So we
too much.
We vastly expanded the output of the team from the same number of people.
yeah.
And there were a lot of
that's
times
true.
I was like, hey, can we get this head count for this very specific role where there's a business need? And they're like, no.
No,
No,
you
you
cannot.
can't.
You
No, you
can
can't.
you can ask someone else on your team
Yeah,
to take on that
no,
job.
you can't. Why don't you do it yourself, you lazy bum?
Yeah.
And that's
Or
just
like we'll get a contractor and like the contractor's contract would be ending.
Well, that was the
and
worst.
You'd be like,
because
we have to keep them. How do we keep
Yeah, that was always the worst
panic.
because you come to rely on them and like this person's great and it's like, well, sorry, they gotta go.
It's like Joseph.
Oh my gosh.
We were like, we have to hold. Just handcuffed yourself to Joseph.
Well, so Joe, our friend from Capcom, who's been on the show before, he started as a contractor, and he was one of those people who was so good. It was like, we have to do
just
anything,
sacrifice anything to keep him,
and that was also a very
arduous,
awful process. But
months and months.
But we were able to do it.
But it was hard.
It
shouldn't have been hard.
It was terrible.
It should have been like, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was like
it was terrible.
6 months of like, please.
Yeah.
Let me send you all the things that justify his role, and let me talk to like 20,000 people about why it's important to keep
right.
him.
And
oh my God.
We had, our usual day was like, go into the office, do the stuff, put in a full day, come home.
No, we wouldn't eat lunch.
Come home. No lunch.
We definitely would not eat lunch there.
Come home, eat dinner, and then get back on for
till
it's bedtime. Till it's bedtime.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, Japan's going off, and now we're going to talk to them, and I got to chase this person down. I couldn't do this because I was in meeting all day.
Yes,
so
yes. Sometimes the meetings were like the meeting schedules, and I think we've talked about that a little bit before, but like grueling.
Yeah.
Like 8 a.m. to like 5 p.m. you would be in meetings, like back to back meetings. And then you'd be like, 5 p.m. would come around. You're like, wait, I have not done any actual work. So now I have to work from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the actual work.
Right.
Because I was in the meetings
Right.
for the whole day. And then you start over and do it again every single day.
Yeah, this is how you get Shocktober.
14 years.
Yeah.
You would do that.
But this is why also, like, when Reggie says, like, yeah, I was ready to retire before I turned 60, he's like, yeah, I believe it.
You're probably really tired.
Doing his job?
Oh, no.
And all the things that he had to deal with? It's like, yeah, I'm actually ready to not do this for a little while. Oh, my gosh.
I get it. Reg, I get it.
Yeah. And this was something I felt this a lot when I was interviewing. Mm-hmm. Of just like, this place seems a little like manic.
Yeah.
And everybody just...
We tried to hide it. Just so we didn't scare people away.
Like, there's something about this might be a little nuts. But what I told myself was like, I'm willing to suck it up.
For Nintendo.
And do it for this company that gave so much to me.
Right.
I did hit a point where I was like, all right, we're even. No. We're good.
Yeah, I think we're square now. Yeah. No, I get it. And it got worse too. It wasn't always as manic, but it just got worse and worse and worse and worse.
It did, like, I remember, so you mentioned, like, nobody goes to lunch. Like, we used to have, like, when it was a birthday, the whole department would go out for lunch. Yeah. And eventually that stopped because nobody had the time. And I thought that was a really sad kind of symbolic thing of like, it's your birthday, well, get lost. I got to go to my meeting. Versus like, no, we're all coming together to do something nice for this person. And then it became like, oh, we got some cupcakes, but like 3 people might show up because nobody had the time to come. It's like, just don't bother.
Aww.
Just forget it.
That's so sad.
Just scan my barcode and send me off.
I used to make us sad like snacks in the office because we wouldn't be able to eat at all. So I called it office toast.
Oh yeah, you were obsessed with this. I don't know why.
Like,
it's just toast.
I would just bring people like plates of office toast, which was a piece of toast with peanut butter and cut up bananas on top.
What an innovation! Wow.
Not an innovation. But we were hungry. We were like the sugar levels were low.
Pushing the boundaries of
what I can
culinary. Wow.
What can I do with the available materials that we had in that office? Don't eat out of that other thing. That will give you a stomachache.
No, don't do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to a pro. The leaders at the highest level of the company have integrity.
They really do.
And they do care about the company.
They really do.
And its employees. So we're talking about,
Mr. Furukawa,
Mr. Iwata, and then Mr. Furukawa.
And Reggie,
Doug, Devin, that whole group.
Nate,
other people like Nate
Nasty
Dildorf.
Nate.
Nasty Nate is
wasn't Nasty.
He's actually a wonderful, sweet
wonderful
guy.
Nate.
Who I love. And
absolutely.
More than ever, you compare this to the people who are running these other companies, where it's like you seem to be.
People are huge jerks.
You seem to be running a scam to bleed this company dry and make as much as you can on your way out.
Yes.
And
you have no integrity and no moral compass.
Right, and it's like you are using the employees at your feet to accomplish this.
Right.
Which it's like I think everybody must know this is happening as it's happening, but it's like powerless to do anything about it.
Right, it's terrible.
Awful feeling.
Yeah.
Did not have to worry about that.
No.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. Everybody had integrity. Everybody really did like care about the company and they were protecting the brand. Like, we were not doing nefarious things at Nintendo. We're not like covering up some like awful whatever.
Yeah.
They were not paying themselves. Like, Mr. Furukawa was not paying himself like an insane salary.
Right.
Because
Right.
Nintendo's making a ton of money. It's
Right.
not like he's like skimming off, he's like, oh, I'm gonna lay off 10,000 people so I can pay myself $1 billion. Like, no, he's not like private jetting around. You know what I mean? So these people have like true, like human, like they did not lose sight of their humanity.
Personal integrity and decency.
Yes, which is very...
Which goes a long way.
You think that it would be something that everyone should have, but no one has it these days,
I mean,
especially leadership.
We were asked to work very hard, but I never felt like I was being used for some like nefarious purpose. And I always recognize that these people are working equally hard.
If not harder.
Like I often saw that. Like, that was something that I thought unfairly got thrown at Doug. He's like, well, what are you doing these days? Like, Doug is working like a maniac.
Yes. No, they're around the clock.
Yeah.
Like, these executives are actually doing real work. They're not just sitting around.
Yeah.
They're not at like the World Cup suite, like hanging out. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they are for like an afternoon, but like they're really working hard.
Right.
They're really working hard.
Right. And just generally, like the employee base was made up of people who were similarly just like good people.
Yes.
At other companies, you get like, oh, you're a weirdo, you're a dirtbag, you're a creep. Like, honestly,
didn't have
to. Like, those people got weeded out pretty fast.
And like, seriously, look at us. Like, we made real.
Way to pat yourself on the back.
No, I mean, like, you and I.
What about us?
Becoming friends. Like, we are real.
What does that have to do with it?
We are real friends.
Okay.
Because, like, we made so many real friends when we were working there.
Out of the goodness of your heart. Wow.
No, because there were really actually nice people that worked there. And even after we left the company, we're still friends with them because it's like a real, you made like real friendships there.
Yes. There are a lot of people who we're still very close with, yes.
Yeah, and it's not like you were just having some kind of like very, transactional relationship with people.
Right.
If there was such wonderful people that worked there, you were happy to work with them every day, and you became like actual good friends with them. Like, I think all of my close friends are former Nintendo employees. Pretty much all of them. The people that I interact with every day, like, are all because we work together at Nintendo, and we're still. And these are the people that I call when I need something, when I like want help or I need support. I'm like, these are the people that are there for me. So like that's pretty cool that we were able to have such good relationships and made like real connections with people at the company, because the people that work there are awesome.
Yeah. Kind of the con to that is, and I don't know exactly why this was, at the kind of like middle layer of management, I think there were some people who were like a little misguided, like in need of some help, in need of some direction,
training
to improve in the act of being a manager.
Yeah.
That just never seemed to happen.
Right.
So it's like you had these people at the top who were these like sparkling paragons of everything, but like maybe your manager was not like
the best,
completely delivering on that.
Yeah.
And just never seemed to make the progress that you might want.
I wouldn't say that they were like bad humans.
No.
They were not bad humans at all. They were just not equipped or didn't have the support that they needed to do their job, which was a little unfortunate. And because, again, Nintendo is a very difficult place to, like, unless you do something really, really, really bad, you're probably not getting fired for, something like I was a bad manager. Yeah, unless you do something really bad.
I was a little surprised when I got promoted and then I took on a team of 12 people that nobody really had that talk with me of like, or this is what it means to be like the manager of a full team versus like one or two people. Like this is you got to shift your mindset in these ways. You got to shift what you're doing in these ways. Like it was just like, figure it out. Hope it works out.
And some people figure it out, and some people don't.
Yeah.
And some people don't.
Right.
And also, like, because, like, we were talking about, it kind of all kind of rolls down. It's like, because there is really very little work-life balance.
Yeah, I guess there's just no time to have that kind of conversation.
Yeah, and then you kind of get, like, you have anxiety and fear about, like, falling behind, and you don't want your team to fall behind, too. So you do have some of these, like, toxic managers sometimes that are like micromanaging.
There is a sense of fear. I think fear is the right word, and that was the feeling I had when I started there my first year, when I was
Everyone was scared.
when I was feeling iffy. I was like, these people seem frightened by something.
They are frightened,
and I didn't know what. It's like, okay, Reggie seems like a great guy. These people in Japan seem like they're very reasonable to work. I was like, what is driving this palpable sense of fear that this layer of people at the company all seem to have?
Yeah.
And I never completely solved that.
Yeah, it's all I feel like it's related to like we just can't get behind on stuff.
No.
Because we're just walking the razor's edge of like it's like you're juggling and the balls are in the air.
Yeah.
But like if you stop for but a moment, or if anyone misses their cue, everything falls apart.
Right.
And there's a real fear of the everything falling apart scenario that some of these managers, and we had a boss that was one of these managers that just was not able.
They just felt it too deeply.
And then they kind of took it out on you.
Yeah.
In a really negative way.
Right.
And you kind of had to, you can fix that person. That person wasn't getting fixed. No matter what we did to try to remedy the situation, that person wasn't getting fixed.
Right.
So you kind of had to put up your own, boundaries or find ways to keep yourself sane, because there's nothing you can do to control that person. So like the solution was, I'll just put up these boundaries so that they won't come over here and drive me nuts. You know?
Yes.
So, but yeah, they're getting away with some weird stuff.
Right.
Like some things that aren't really positive, and there's still a lot of complaints about this person from these former Nintendo
and other people who are pulling the same stuff. Yeah.
I just got an email yesterday that was pretty
interesting.
funny. Just very funny.
On to the pros. Talk about the almighty dollar.
Oh yeah. You get bonuses.
You are probably getting multiple bonuses a year,
especially during good years,
and very good benefits packages, that's important. As part of the TC, the total compensation.
Oh yes, the total compensation package. Yes,
the bonuses were interesting because they were couched as like, hey, we don't know if we're going to get these. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't.
But you always did.
I don't think did we ever miss?
Nope.
Even in the bad days of the Wii U.
We never missed it.
Never missed it.
Even my first month at Nintendo, I remember this so clearly. I was like very young, my first job out of college, and I started at Nintendo in September. And they would pay bonuses usually twice a year, once in July, kind of tied to your annual review.
Yeah.
And then they would do another one around the holidays in
Right.
December. So you get like 2 bonuses a year, and then sometimes you'll get a special one too, which is really nice. But I started in September, so I had only been in the company for 3 months. And December rolls around, and my boss was like, oh, and then you're getting a bonus. I'm like,
wow.
I haven't even been here that long. What do you mean? She's like, oh, we just prorated it, so
That's
it's for
nice.
like the 3 months you've been here. But no one's getting left out. Even the new person, entry-level person that just started, I still got like a little bonus, which I was like, wow, it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I was happy. It's
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, so there were those, and then there were the special bonuses. We did not get those all the time. Those were truly like tied to the company's performance much more so.
Yeah. Obviously, in the Wii U days, we're not getting special bonuses.
No. I had a similar story that went a little bit differently, which was right after I joined, there was a special bonus, but they're like, yeah, you're so new, you get nothing. Oh. But there was like, they had this whole like party, like offsite. They're like, yeah, come to this party. We have a big announcement. I was like, oh, what is it? And I was like, everybody's getting a bonus. I was like, me too? No, not you.
Oh,
it's fine.
really?
I didn't deserve it. Yeah.
You weren't.
It was for a stretch of time where I was not at the company.
You didn't do the work.
I was totally fine.
Did I get it? I got it.
I'm sure you did. You worked there.
Yay.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yay! I spent it. No, just kidding.
Yeah. The other things like the Hawaii house, is the perks.
Perks.
Well, perks.
Whistler.
That's a very cool perk. That is available.
Not a guarantee, but you still got to do
we've
it.
talked about that a long time ago on the podcast. There are a lot of little bells and whistles that come with the employment.
Yeah, for sure.
The kind of flip side to that, though, is I think the reason that those bonuses were as regular, the standard bonuses were as regular as they were, is like the company kind of viewed that as like part of your standard
annual salary. Right.
And even then, if you looked at like all of that, like it often didn't really stack up so well to other similar companies, comparable companies, which is unfortunate. And there were a lot of times that we'd have these, conversations when it would come time to do raises and bonuses and stuff of like HR would have all these formulas of like, oh, here's the target, here's the target of what it should be. And it's like, well, why is the pay not the target? Like, well, we can't do that. It's like, well,
significantly lower.
It's like, I don't know. It seems like the company's doing pretty well, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you definitely are not making a lot of money working at Nintendo.
Right.
You're making a very stable income, I would say. It's not like nothing, but it's not anything to write home about.
Right. And that's what, that was a famous Don James quote, which is nobody gets rich working at Nintendo.
Except for him.
I don't know.
He might be a little rich.
He might have gotten rich, but
he was an EVP
he was there for 40 years.
Yeah. I think he might have some bonuses.
I think he did okay.
I think he might have some retirement funding.
Yes.
Anyways,
yes.
But yes, it is not like a tech company.
Well,
it's not like that.
Well, that was the other thing. Is like, when we were here, there's all these tech companies in Seattle. Also, you have Amazon, you have Microsoft where it's like they are pushing that number as high as they can to attract these people. And you would sometimes have these conversations where you like overhear like a salary, oh, this guy's doing the same job and he's making like twice as much. Like
it was like 4 times.
Or like what's
not twice? It was 4 times.
What's going on with that?
4x. Yes.
And that was not always a great feeling.
Nope. Yeah. And I had a really hard time with this because I started at Nintendo in such an entry-level role. Yeah. And I was only growing my career through these like incremental steps. So I was getting like promoted to the next level. And then 2 years later, promoted to the next level. But then the pay would never catch up.
Yeah. The longer you were there, the
less you get
further
paid.
You fell behind on that, and the further you got away from that target.
Yeah.
And it was just
it was tough.
I remember with you, it was like, all right, we got to do something. And they're like, we can do it. It's going to be a 5-year process. Oh my God, it's not going to be here in 5 years. But again, that's a long-term approach. She's not going anywhere.
Exactly. She's been 14 years.
Nobody's going anywhere.
She'll be fine.
Yeah.
She'll be fine. I think eventually it got a little. When I left, it still was.
I think we compacted it to a 2 or 3 year process.
It was still pretty like shaky.
I don't know, but yeah, some of those conversations would just make it be like, oh, wow. Are we having the same? Are we eye to eye on this? I don't think we are.
No. It is, and like, of course, again, being in this environment where you hear like, oh, Anthropic's about to go IPO. We're gonna have newly minted multimillionaires, and you're like, oh, that's not.
And
me.
that was also like that
me.
Was also one of the things of the bonus is like you're not allowed to have the stock.
Right. No stock.
Right. So that's like, hey, here's another little thing we're throwing your way to make that.
Yeah, you don't get any stock.
Right. Last thing on this is that there was recently, and this will happen from time to time, these news stories of like
this happened recently.
Oh, Nintendo's raising the salary of their employees by some percent, and it's like, oh, look at that, look at Nintendo, and it's like that's only for Japan. So,
it's only for like developers.
That would always like kind of like put a knot in your stomach when you're like, working there at NOA, or I'm sure for NOE, and you hear from your friend like, hey, you guys all got a raise. Like, no, we didn't. No, we didn't.
No, we didn't at all.
Those are for the nice people in Japan.
Yeah. I think there was a recent story about this.
Yeah.
And of course, everyone was like, whoa.
That may have been an old story that got recycled again.
But it was one of those things where it's like, Microsoft is laying off everybody. Look at what Nintendo's doing.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, well,
for
a little grain of salt.
For some of them, yeah.
But good for some of them.
That's great for them.
That's wonderful, and they deserve it. They absolutely deserve it.
I mean, the pay situation in Japan is a whole different can of worms that we don't have the time to get into now.
No, that's very different. I mean, we don't know the specifics of that. We only know from like the U.S. corporate structure how.
Yes. But we had some conversations with people in Japan of like what is like how does compensation work? Mm-hmm. And it was very different. It's extremely different. Extremely different situation.
Yeah, I don't know how they're.
Whatever. Let's take a question from Cerulean Dragon on one of these topics. Not to be gloom and doom, but layoffs are in the news again. Whenever this happens, a common theme online is praising Nintendo for how they never do layoffs. However, isn't an office relocation a pseudo layoff, since they know and don't ask everyone to relocate to the new location? We also know from some reports that they have declined to renew some contractors and/or largely moved their American customer support staff to South America. While these aren't necessarily traditional layoffs, people are still impacted and potentially out of work. I fully understand it's rare and definitely less impactful than the layoffs we commonly hear about, but it still happened. Having gone through this, how do you feel about the quote, Nintendo never does layoffs talking point?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a really good point. You know, Nintendo has done kind of layoff adjacent type of things before.
Nintendo early out?
Oh my God! Have we ever talked about that?
We have.
That's so funny.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Yeah, they do things.
Basically, like an early retirement option.
Yes, if you're over a certain age, you get.
Why don't you hang them up?
Why don't you hang it up? Here's a nice little package if you do. And Reggie got that email.
This was a Wii U thing.
And I was like, Reggie, you're not going to take it, are you? He's like, no.
Yeah, there was definitely like,
I was like, okay, good.
Belt tightening then, like the budgets, like marketing budgets were getting slashed.
Yeah,
like,
don't travel as much.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff.
They were like very tight on the travel
budget. But again,
budget.
the trade-off was nobody got
laid off.
Can't, so yeah.
No special bonus.
Very, very important.
Yes.
Yeah.
But these things, like closing the offices, and they've done this twice now. So the first time they closed sales and marketing in Redmond, in Seattle. And then moved it to San Francisco, and then they went back the other way. Like,
and in New York.
Yeah. And then, recently, where it affected us, they moved it the other way. They closed sales and marketing down in San Francisco, moved it back to Washington. So, ironically, I was hired because they moved sales and marketing in San Francisco, and then I left when they moved it back to Washington. So I did like the full cycle, which is pretty funny. But yeah, these can be considered layoff adjacent. I think it's just not as like frequent. It's not as broad. It's not like we're laying off X percentage of the company. It's more so based on like, I don't know. I guess it's just not as like, I don't feel like it has the same impact as like the Microsoft layoff stuff, for example.
No. I mean, look, the company did everything it could to get as many people as possible to make that move.
They did.
At a lot of expense to the company.
They did.
Like everything that they were doing, it was not on the cheap. It was very we're going to roll out the red carpet to make this enticing and make you want to do it. So I can't put this in the same category as a layoff. And honestly, like for every people like us who are like, I'm just not interested in that. Like there were a lot of people who were very excited.
Yeah.
Or like, I'd actually been thinking about that, or I was looking for a change of scenery, and this is going to be perfect. So it's like, well, great. Yeah. That's great for you. It's not something that everybody wanted to do. I think they knew that. But yeah, I can't put this in the same category. I mean, there's a way they could have done it. It was like, you can come if you want, but you got to figure it out yourself.
Right. No, they were covering all those costs.
Yeah.
They were really encouraging people to do like
visits,
trips up to Seattle, all expenses paid.
Right, we'll help you move,
relocation,
which is a huge expense.
They would pay all your relocation stuff.
Yeah.
They would give you all these different everybody had different compensation packages if they did.
So it was
choose to relocate.
Obviously, not the news you wanted to hear, but it was done in a very classy and like sympathetic way.
Absolutely. I mean, Doug Bowser called me personally.
Yeah.
And was like, here's what you'll get, come, you'll love it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think it's a personal call,
Yeah.
And it was very, very, very thoughtfully done. There were some little confusing things that happened along the way.
Right.
But they were trying their best, I think, to make
so,
it an easy process for people that was considering going.
Yeah. The contractor situation is a little different, though,
where
it is unfortunate that those people get seen as lesser than
yes.
a lot
and they do.
of the time, and in multiple different ways.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different story.
Yeah, and that is not the best treatment.
That's an area for growth.
For sure.
Let's put it that way.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure.
So just as we get to the end of these pros and cons, just to compare it to my experience working at some other places like Bandai Namco and Konami, and then the smaller agency that I started at. I definitely appreciated, because I thought going in, it's like, I've worked at a Japanese company before, but it was not the same, because Konami and Bandai Namco did not have the same sense of a vision. They did not have the same like very trustworthy stand-up leadership at all levels. Like there were some people who were like, I don't think this guy knows what he's doing, or this he's going to be like in and out in a year, so just wait him out. All of that, Nintendo truly is like unique in this sense, even among Japanese gaming companies.
Yeah.
And
even when you talk to, like, again,
there was a lot of like seat of the pants. Like, what are we doing now? Oh, yeah, this is the big priority now. Also, that was like, okay, I guess we'll follow along because we don't really have a choice. But I'm not sure anybody has the big picture laid out for this company.
Yeah, and even now when you talk to people that work, when we talk to our industry friends that work at other Japanese companies, Square Enix or Capcom, it's like, it is still very different. Their experience working at another Japanese company is very different than their experiences working at Nintendo.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I do think the company's unique. What have you heard from some of the other folks who've moved on?
Yeah, it's really
who
interesting.
You check in with regularly.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people moved on to different jobs, some inside the gaming industry, some outside of the gaming industry. But the one thing that's just crystal clear is that, like, oh yeah, I was only good at the job I was given at Nintendo. I need to learn so many new things to be successful outside of this company.
Yeah.
That was like every single person. And they all work at very good, very reputable, very large companies. Every single person said this. It's like, oh wow, I had to learn like new skill sets because I was honed specifically to do my job at Nintendo.
Yeah.
And they're making a lot more money.
Okay, good for them. Let's close on a hypothetical here, which is just like, let's say you have a good friend who just got offered a job at Nintendo and came to you for advice. Would you say, yes, you should take that job and go on that experience? Or would you say, no, there's, for whatever reason, you shouldn't do that?
What department?
I don't know. This is just a hypothetical. As broad as you can go.
Broad? I think I would tell them about the specific way Nintendo operates and really try to communicate to them that this is a very unique company to work for and you need to have a very specific kind of mindset to work there. But if they're able to do that, I would say yes.
Yeah.
Go for the security. Go for, working at a company that the brand is so awesome and amazing and fun and cool. But you have to have a very specific mindset to be able to survive there.
Yeah. I would in 99% of the cases say yes. I think the 1% would come down to personality, where I do think there's just like a type of like very high achiever who is just very go, who is just like, I'm just going to do it all myself. I'll figure it out. Don't get in my way. That's the kind of person who runs into trouble.
Yeah.
At Nintendo, who like this person could be like an absolute star.
Yeah.
But it's just not going to work out.
They don't
there.
like that.
But for almost anybody else, I would say, yeah, that's an experience that's worth having.
They want you to fall in line. So if you can fall in line and be extremely high performing in the lane that they give you and be okay with that and not ask for anything, then you're going to be very successful there.
Yes.
And you may stay there for 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that would be wonderful.
Happily ever after.
Yeah.
Wow. Hope you enjoyed our balanced look at working at Nintendo. Let us know if you have any questions. But let's move on to our news. But first, of course, we got another sponsor to shout out. This episode is sponsored by Proton VPN. And we have a conundrum coming up that Proton VPN has helped us solve.
What is it?
We are going to Germany for Gamescom in a few weeks. We're also watching, like we said last week, the House of the Dragon Game of the Thrones, which is going to be having its like finale. I think the finale is happening while we are in Germany.
Oh no,
and
we have to watch it.
We have all had that experience of like, I want to go watch my show. It's like, this content is not available in your region, and you freak out.
You get spoiled.
Proton VPN's got us. They're going to help us solve this problem.
That's great. I love that. You can use it to, yes, of course, get access to things in other regions, but it's also very secure.
Yes.
It gives you that digital privacy and security.
European privacy, excuse you.
European.
That's the kind of privacy I'm looking for.
That's the good. That's the real privacy, not American privacy.
That's what I want.
Joke.
Yeah.
But it's also great because when you're traveling and stuff like that, you're on some strange networks.
Right.
You want to make sure that your data is safe.
Yes. So yeah, whether you want to watch content or get around sites that have been blocked or just be private, this is what Proton VPN is here for.
Yes.
So it's easy to get started. Right now, Proton VPN is offering our listeners 70% off a 2-year plan when you go to protonvpn.com/KitandKrysta. That's PROTONVPN.com/KitandKrysta for 70% off your 2-year plan. protonvpn.com/KitandKrysta.
70% is a lot of percent.
That's a pretty good percent.
That's a huge discount.
That's very
All
good.
right, if you would like this huge discount, we'll put the link in the description and also have a QR code for you to scan right here.
All right, one more Patreon question before we get to the news. This is from Eggmond. I love that name.
Eggmond.
Eggmond. In the past, Nintendo has made the costly mistake of being too controlling over what third-party publishers put on their systems, and it cost them. However, there is one area I wonder if they need to bring back some of that control today, and that is with Switch 2 versions of Switch 1 games. Square Enix has been one of the most egregious with their Switch 2 versions of games, mostly offering no upgrade path or even save file transfer, and while the more clued-in consumer knows this is Square Enix's fault, there are definitely some people who blame Nintendo and it's hurting their brand. Do Nintendo need to start enforcing some standards when publishers start to put out updated versions of their Switch 1 games on Switch 2? Or would that be an overreach that might just see publishers like Square Enix stop making updated Switch 2 versions altogether and damage the relationship?
It's probably pretty hard for Nintendo to offer that kind of control.
I think Nintendo would need to look in the mirror first before they did anything like this.
They don't even have a clear path for themselves, right?
If you look at just Switch 2 editions that Nintendo's published, there's a wide range
of what that means.
Executions. Most of it's not what Square Enix is doing of, hey, rebuy the game and start over. But it is not a well-defined category.
Right.
That does lead to confusion, and I think it's a cool category for them to have on the Switch 2. But I don't think they're in any position to say, hey, you can only do it this way, when it's like what is the way?
Yeah,
there is no way. One way.
They have their own They do not have their own standardized process.
Yeah.
So how can they enforce someone else's process? You know what I mean? So they have to kind of figure that. And maybe they don't want to. Maybe they want to leave the options broad.
Sure.
So that they can have a wide range of executions. But yeah, it's going to be pretty hard for them to control that, since they don't have any sort of process themselves.
Yeah, last week we were talking about Octopath Traveler. I think Square Enix had another game, Star Ocean, maybe? Don't hold me to that. Ocean. I think that was another one that was kind of the same deal.
Yeah.
For it. It just feels like this generation requires you to do a lot more homework.
Yes, a bit of research.
To what am I getting? How is it going to work?
Yeah.
And is it truly the thing I am looking for? That is, I don't know if everybody is really signing up to want to do that.
Yes, and you have to do that. It's not easy to find that information.
Unfortunately, that's the other thing.
Really be digging around.
It does feel like a lot of that's hidden.
And then also so much fake news and so much misinformation.
Yeah. I saw this tweet and it said everything's a game key card. It's like, oh my gosh, where do we begin?
Yeah, so it's going to be really tough for you to find the correct information to make that decision, unfortunately.
Right. Okay, let's start the news. And Splatoon Raiders, by the time you're listening to this, probably out now.
Yes.
And reviews are also out for Splatoon Raiders. We did our Metacritic predictions last week. I said 78. What did you say?
80.
You were right on the money.
I am.
It is exactly 80.
Told ya.
Congratulations.
Could change.
Let's go through some of the scores. IGN gave it a 9.
Logan Plant,
That's the
9.
Logan Plant.
Logan Plant, review. 9. That's a big legit.
One.
VGC
gave it an 8.
Our friend Andy gave it an 8.
Giant Bomb gave it a 7. The Guardian. It's always The Guardian gave it a 4. Were they the guy doing that Mario Galaxy movie?
Yes, they have
nonsense?
no joy in their lives. They need to find some joy. Guardian, what's going on?
Does the Guardian need to get these games?
I don't know.
Day one?
Maybe not.
Yeah. See the light, the Guardian, please.
I think they need to touch some grass or something.
That's tough because pretty much everything else is clustered from a 7 to a 9.
Yeah.
That kind of hurts, but
I love the demo I played.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like this is kind of exactly what we were thinking of a very high end, more single player and cooperative focused experience, which sounds awesome. Unfortunately, we're going to be at Comic-Con right when it comes out, but I'm excited to get going when we get back.
Me too, and I want to try the multiplayer as well. That's something we have not tried yet, and I can't wait to try that out.
We will. There was also an Ask the Developer interview for Splatoon Raiders that happened. I love it when we get these because it's always interesting to see what they said. They talked a little bit about why did they do this project and not just roll right into the next big Splatoon game? I will read you a little bit of what they said. We've been going full speed ahead for 11 years since the series' launch. We thought it might be interesting to create something with a slightly different approach to gameplay where you can savor the action on your own. It's not just about competitive play, there's all these other modes. So one of the motivations was our desire to create a new entry point into the series by releasing these non-competitive elements, not just as a secondary feature, but as a standalone spin-off. But then they do also say, don't worry, we're still making those. And they even mention Splatoon 4 by name here, which is interesting.
I mean, obviously that's coming still.
Obviously.
Yeah.
They also, I thought this was interesting about
I like
the setting.
Yeah, this concept art is
where
really
it
cool.
started as a much kind of more idyllic island setting, and there's even this concept art of like it looks like
a water park.
Looks like a water park
Yeah.
with these like water slides and stuff. And
pretty.
They said it felt people started to feel bad for shooting these salmonids who were having like who were living
they're having
on this
fun
paradise,
in the
and it's like
water
you just showed up and you just started shooting all these salmonids. And they got so much feedback. They're like, we actually have to change the design of this because we don't want the player to feel bad for doing what the game wants you to do.
Yeah, especially because they have these little like swimming rings.
Yeah.
They're just like hanging out at the water park.
Right.
And you're just like massacring them.
Right.
It's a little rough.
And they also kind of like tweaked the salmonids' designs to make them look even grosser. And
They're pretty gross.
More nasty. They are.
They are gross, and then they have the disgusting like toxic slime looking thing that you don't feel bad about shooting.
Yeah, the quote was, somehow with this setting it started to feel like we were unfairly picking on the salmonids who were simply going about their lives happily. Yeah,
I kind of agree with that actually.
Yeah, so like this other one is really interesting, this concept art where it's like here are kind of the things they added to kind of grimy it up.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird objects, kind of like trash on the broken things. Interesting. We did have that feeling.
We got that feeling.
And then we were listening to the music and it was a little bit more like not as happy.
Right.
So maybe that's part of the reason
I
to
think
give
so.
it like a different vibe. So you're not just like some jerk.
Yeah, a little bit more like survival, like you are threatened.
Yes, this island is like wild and you're threatened.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. I love that.
All right, this next one's a doozy, and this came from our friend Steven at GameFile, who had a great add-on to our podcast from last week, by the way. Kind of his perspective on the 2019 E3 stuff that we talked about. Definitely check that out.
It was awesome. I loved it.
But he broke this story, and it's a very dense story that goes into a lot of legal details.
Yeah.
So I do recommend, like, if this is something you're interested in, like, I would seek out his original story because it goes into a lot of depth on it. But basically, this goes back to a few months ago. There was this class action lawsuit after Nintendo sued the United States government to get the money back for the tariffs, which were
Nintendo and many other
companies experienced this. Yes. So the consumers were saying, well, okay, we need to get our money back. You're doing that. Let us get ours.
Yeah, I think that the whole point was like you're suing them to get your money back, and you're just gonna roll those
you're just gonna
whatever money that you make from the government that you get back from the government, you're just gonna give it to the consumer, right? Because at the end of the day, we consumers paid for that tariff.
Right. So Nintendo is saying no, and they're seeking to dismiss this class action lawsuit. So Stephen actually got like the direct legal response from Nintendo. I'm going to read from this a little bit because I think the specific language is important. Nintendo or one of its retailers set a price for each product and consumers decided whether that price was worth paying. Those who bought Nintendo's products received exactly what they bargained and paid for, a console, game, and/or accessory at a price to which both parties agreed. The money plaintiffs paid represents the purchase price of the goods they wanted and received. Plaintiffs are not entitled to a rebate simply because of intervening legal developments related to tariffs. As Robert Pattinson said, get these beggars out of here.
Oh no! How does he
I love that. I love it.
Oh man.
I haven't even seen the Odyssey, but I love that.
It's going viral.
Here's another quote from the legal filings. Like its market peers, Nintendo made the difficult decision to adjust some of its prices in response to market conditions, including costs of memory, labor, shipping, and tariffs. Unlike many of its market peers, however, Nintendo did not simply increase each product's price by the amount of tariffs it paid on that product or impose an across-the-board tariff surcharge. Instead, Nintendo imposed modest and selective price adjustments, and it chose to bear the cost of tariffs on some of its most popular products, including its flagship console, the Nintendo Switch 2. They also, so it's kind of what they're getting at here is like, we actually don't have a good way
of calculating
to know what percentage of the increase was a tariff versus all these other things
right.
that were going on.
We're going up
in the market. Because of all of these things, we did have to increase the price.
And but not all of those things are tariff related.
Yeah, and the people clearly thought this was a fair price because they bought it.
Right.
Here's another argument that they make. If a consumer did not want to pay the advertised price, they were free to abstain from purchasing the product or seek out a competing product. Okay? Wow. So, what do you make of this?
So interestingly, and this was in Stephen's article as well, is that some other companies that were part of this initial class action lawsuit against the U.S. government, I think Costco was part of it.
There were a lot of companies.
Oh, there was a huge list.
Yeah.
FedEx is part of it. They all said that they're going to be passing those refunds, back to the consumer.
Well, FedEx is an example of one.
Yes.
I don't think everyone.
Not everybody.
Yeah.
But
there are some.
Costco has said that they were going to do that.
There are some who are doing it.
FedEx said it was going to do it.
Sony is one of these companies. I don't think they have said exactly. Another great PR win for Sony coming up.
Oh, great. Perfect. Awesome.
Beggars.
Get out of here.
Get out of here,
Get
beggars.
out of here. We're no room for you.
No. So what stands out to me is like, okay, this is not a public forward statement. This is a legal statement to try and get this thing thrown out.
Yes.
And who knows, maybe by the time after we've recorded this, there will be a more public-facing statement. But it's like, yeah, this is a pretty strongly worded, severe. This is clearly from a lawyer.
Yeah, not from a communications professional. Yes, it's very factual. It's very like black and white.
And the way they're positioning it is like, hey, this is exactly what you want, and you got it. So what are you mad for? You're loving this thing you got. That's a fair price. You decided that this was a fair price. Yeah. I don't think these are not things that they would say to a consumer's face.
No,
they're clearly things that they believe, but not things they would say to their face.
Right.
So initially, I was pretty like, I was a little bit outraged when I saw this, and I started reading it, and I kind of had to like sit on it for a little while, and I was like, they are in a bit of a tricky position where this tariff thing just seems to be on again, off again.
It's really hard to pin it down.
And it's like, and I bet they're like, we can't be caught in a situation where for the foreseeable future,
we're giving refunds.
We just have to be handing out money for things that are happening outside of our control. That we have who knows what shape these will take next, and that I actually like the thing of like we actually don't know what a fair price like per product is. It's like okay, I think I can get on board with that. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it's a good look for them, but as a company, as the company protecting itself, I can understand why they are doing this.
I think they're really terrified of like the slippery slope.
It's absolutely a slippery slope, yeah.
That this might cause, right? And it's
legal precedent.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that's something that they talk about a lot when we do those legal trainings or whatever. It's like you cannot have some kind of legal precedent that's going to bite you
down the road.
Yeah. And it's dangerous because potentially, it could be even more than tariffs. It could be component costs. It could be other things. Like, what if the component cost goes down?
Right.
Are you going to sue Nintendo and say, well, now that you're not paying as much for chips, you should give me a rebate?
Right. And then this whole thing of, like, again, you got what you paid for becomes this really big picture, like, philosophical debate over why I was coerced because I wanted this thing so badly, but the price was inflated for yada. It's like that's a conversation that could go on forever. So this is interesting of like, the forward-facing good guy image that Nintendo likes to have versus the behind-the-scenes like we're a bully a little bit,
and we're a business,
and we have to protect ourselves first.
Yeah,
is really like butting heads here.
Everything that they're saying is factual, though.
Yeah. It's not
See,
something.
it's not something
but it's,
you can argue
But it's
against.
something you'd be a little bit upset if they said it to your face.
You're definitely a little upset,
Yeah.
but you also kind of feel dumb for falling for it. Because you did exactly what they said.
Right.
You had an agreed upon price that you yourself
Go buy a PS5
made a decision
if you couldn't deal with it. Yeah.
and said that I'm okay with this price,
Right.
so you bought the product.
Right.
I mean, there's really nothing that they did wrong here, you know? So, yes, you might be a little miffed that they
Yeah.
would say this to your face because it's not good customer service. It's not very
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
very nice.
No.
But it's factual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel very conflicted about this because I can see both sides of it, and now that I am just Joe Schmo consumer, like, don't talk to me like that.
Give me a little
Don't be so condescending.
Give me a little voucher.
Oh, a voucher.
Give me a little voucher.
A voucher for what?
For like a little digital game.
Oh, wow.
Give me a little $10 voucher.
You're not getting that.
Just to give me a little bit. That's not going to cost you
It will be
anything.
fascinating to see what the result of this is, although it probably will be well in the future.
Yeah, what is FedEx going to give you? Like $1 to everybody?
I don't know.
It's like, who cares?
I mean, you
I
said
don't know.
you said Costco was they're
Costco said
I mean,
another one,
Costco's
yeah.
got like they're the ultimate like good guy.
They are. They really are the good guy.
Company.
Everyone gets a hot dog.
in all of this?
$1.50.
Right,
For your
right.
for your tariff troubles, you get a hot dog.
Right.
Great. I take it.
This is the real behind the scenes Nintendo. This is the bare knuckle brawling.
Yeah.
And
This
the
is
scary
the
lawyers
real
and stuff.
face of Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's true.
Boy, it's a big week for long-winded corporate statements because we got this one from Microsoft about Bethesda's upcoming plans, and it just goes and goes and goes.
Oh my goodness.
So
The
basically,
future of Fallout.
they laid out what the future holds for Bethesda in a very extensive way, and I will try to paraphrase
Yeah, do not read this whole
the
thing.
key
It's
information. No.
kind of crazy.
But basically, we want to share what's next for Bethesda Studios in the years ahead. Starfield, who cares? They're gonna keep doing stuff for Starfield. The future of Fallout. Okay, this is important. Fallout is one of our biggest priorities. Fallout 5 remains our long-range destination, and we have multiple Fallout projects in active development right now. Getting into those.
How long is the range?
Well,
really
that's
long,
the
right?
question.
Like years and years and years. And
So
years
again,
and years.
so Fallout 5 is in pre-production. They're working with Obsidian on a Fallout game, and then they said these have been long rumored. They said we are working on remasters for Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, and then they have some smaller updates on Fallout 76 and Fallout 4. So that's still coming, and then they did say, "Hey, Elder Scrolls 6, remember that?
Remember that?
That's our development focus today, and most of the team is working on that, and they're saying they're playing it and they're liking it. So that's kind of what this update is. This became this big, like, own the day sort of PR push for Bethesda that really, like, was very extensive. So, Todd Howard, we got him directly posting on Reddit.
I'm a professional lurker, and I read your comments all the time.
He was going on some big press tour, doing interviews with everybody. They broke the long-standing blacklist of Jason Schreier so he could do a proper interview with him. He's calling Greg Miller's cell phone on Kinda Funny, like extremely extensive to share the news of what's going on.
They just need some good news.
This is the Asha Sharma thumb. Like, I'm gonna make you do all this.
Yeah, he's like a puppet.
Yeah.
Little Todd Howard's on a puppet on strings.
I'm gonna show you real power, Todd Howard. You're gonna get on Reddit.
Let me carefully craft this PR statement that makes it sound like a human.
So it's clear that she really bristled at the slowness of everything that's been happening inside Xbox.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she looked at Bethesda as like, okay, you're one of our marquee studios, and nobody has a clue
What the heck is
what's going
on?
on, and I don't know why. And I'm telling you now, you have to do this.
Yeah.
You need to give the people an update.
Yeah.
But as I read through this all, it kind of came through to me as a non-update because it's like, okay, I could have guessed that this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And
Nothing is concrete. Nothing is.
A lot of this stuff is rumored or leaked. Like when is Fallout 5 coming?
Nobody knows.
Well beyond 2030.
Yeah.
So you kind of did another one of these Elder Scrolls 6 announcements where it's like, okay, thanks for letting me know. See you in 7 years.
Right.
When you have something to show. It doesn't.
But
it doesn't help the pace at which these games get made.
No. But it also is one of those like desperate attempts to have something that's not layoffs.
Yes.
in the news for Xbox.
Yeah, we were talking about how, so when we were talking about Nintendo Direct, they said, what if Nintendo had a Nintendo Direct that was truly everything, that's bad news for them. They're in bad shape. That's kind of what this is.
That's what this is. They're
Yes.
trying to turn
Doesn't matter how
the
far
sentiment.
off. Doesn't matter how far off it is.
Right. They're turning the sentiment and the focus away from these awful layoff news and
Right.
studio closures by trying to give people something positive to latch
Right.
onto. And of course, these are franchises that everybody loves and is curious about, but you didn't really get any real information.
But also, it's a
this.
big shift of, before, I think under Phil Spencer, it was, hey, the studios are free to operate the way they want. They can
Right.
have their own cultures and stuff. And now it's just like, no,
you are homogenous
We're
here.
gonna tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And it's good for Microsoft. It's good for Xbox for you to get out and tell everybody. So you're gonna go do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been blacklisting Jason Schreier for 10 years. Knock
Too
it
bad.
off. Give him a phone call right now.
Yeah.
Bang out that Reddit post, Todd.
They're in control now for
Yeah.
sure of the overall image
Right.
and the overall like day to day, the way that you're presenting yourself, because I
Right.
think that they're tired of having them do whatever they want because it's not really helping overall Xbox.
You know what's interestingly not mentioned
Mm.
in this email is anything about what platforms these games will be on. Because if they drop, and all these games are going to be exclusive to Xbox, it's like,
That's a big deal.
Okay, now that's actually huge
That's
news.
actually huge news.
And that's actually starting to factor into people's decisions of like, should I get?
I don't think they figured that out yet. though.
And
they can't commit to that right
That
now.
whole thing continues to be
A baffling,
so murky.
Murky.
I don't think
yeah.
I don't think they know.
Nobody knows.
Seems
They
like
don't
they should
know.
really figure it out.
They're trying to do this thing where they're like, we don't want to make that decision. We don't want to put it into such finite
Yeah, we don't want to commit to
committal. Yeah, because-
2034 when Fallout 5 comes out. We don't want to have to commit to that.
exactly.
now.
But they should do something.
But
though,
I do get
because-
worried about, Bethesda's been really good on Nintendo platforms. Most of their games have been on a Switch or a Switch 2, and
Yeah,
those
they were the closer of the Partner Direct. The latest Partner
so
Direct.
I do
with
get a little
Fallout.
I do get a little worried about that. Of like, are they always going to be there? Because again, like that was clearly something that was important to them. And I don't know if that's important to Xbox though.
Well, if Xbox is trying to make themselves relevant again and give people a reason to be on Xbox, they maybe can't go as free multi-platform as they have in the past. To the detriment of finding a bigger audience for Bethesda games, but maybe to the overall goal that they have about making Xbox a destination for people.
It just remains one of the biggest questions out of all of this.
It's going to be interesting how that shakes out.
Going ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
This is some unfortunate news. So a while back, we got that funky photo of TV Kratos from the Amazon show that they're doing for God of War.
Yeah, the pooping in the woods photo.
And yeah, it was like, just didn't look right. And they had started to film this season, but the actor who's playing Kratos, Ryan Hurst, sustained an injury.
On set.
And on-set injury and is going to need to be recast. And they were several episodes into filming. He had
That's
a
rough.
bicep tear, like the muscle. He was flexing too hard.
Maybe he was throwing an axe.
Kratos like hulking out, He's like, can you do that with a bit more like Spartan rage? He's like, "Ugh."
Ow!
And that's an injury that can have you out of
Ouch.
commission for a really long
Months and
time.
months, I
So that's like a pretty serious thing of like, we're basically starting over. We have to find a new person, and we have to start over on this show.
Who are they going to cast? Maybe they have some backups from their original casting call.
I don't know. Maybe.
Jason Momoa. Just call him.
Jason Momoa's down.
The Rock.
Sure.
Just call them.
Find a strong guy. This show just seems snake bit.
Yeah. This
is really like this is sad news.
Might be cursed. Yeah.
This is a bummer.
Sucks.
And then it's also like they have the same problem to a bigger extent than the Zelda movie of like this kid who's playing Atreus. He looked very young. He's going to be growing up.
A growing boy drinking a glass of milk.
You need to kind of finish this thing before he like becomes
a man,
like a teenager or whatever. Like I don't know. Like you need him to match the image of Atreus. So
let's just not have Atreus in this.
This is just rough. They said Hurst had put on 40 pounds of muscle.
Oh my god.
For the role, and had filmed scenes for more than 4 episodes. Ugh.
40 pounds? How do you put on 40 pounds of muscle?
That's a lot. Don't ask. Yeah, ask me. Yeah, I'm the guy who's going to tell you how to put on 40 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, you don't know.
I don't.
Creatine shakes?
Man, that is rough. Let's take another question from Patreon from Baby Chris. I wanted to get your thoughts on the chapter-based release format that Deltarune has been using. Do you think Nintendo would ever try something similar with one of its biggest franchises like the next Super Mario or The Legend of Zelda? On paper, it seems like it could work. Instead of releasing one full-priced game, Nintendo could launch it in 4 chapters at around $20 each. Players might feel like they're saving money by buying it in smaller prices, while Nintendo could keep excitement and discussion going over a longer period. Then, once all the chapters are available, they could release a complete physical edition, either as a limited run or a wide retail release, depending on how successful the format is. Or do you think Nintendo's philosophy is too focused on delivering a complete experience from day one for them to ever consider something like this?
I do feel like they're very focused on delivering a fully packaged experience. A lot of times, they used to be very resistant to even like DLC before, because they were like, oh, we want to deliver something that is the complete game.
Right.
And I do have a feeling that like the development team, they like to just kind of like be one and done and then move on as a team to the next project. To have part of the team continuing to support a chaptered format release might just be tough for them to do.
You know, you hear a lot about like people who look at, you know, these sorts of numbers are like, you know, a lot of people don't finish games. They actually don't get that far into games. So I wonder, like, business-wise, like, okay, we're getting, you know, $70 now versus like you're not paying for that 4th installment unless you finish the first 3. So it's
the
like
drop-off might be steeper than you
right.
think.
So versus I'm getting it all up front versus that kind of narrowing group who's actually playing to the end.
Yeah.
I think business-wise, that for that kind of game, that makes a lot more sense. That said, I am really interested in this approach. Like, so for Deltarune, you pay the price up front, and you get all the other chapters free
as it drops,
as they come out. So that's another. So it's like I'm getting the full cost of the game up front.
Yeah.
And I think for them, it's like, you know, we need it to fund the full development of the game. Obviously, Nintendo would be different. We talked about this when Famicom Detective Club came out. It's like, why don't you treat this like a prestige TV show,
right?
And have it drop over time. And I think for certain games,
it works well.
It could be really cool.
To
do that. Like, I think there's a couple examples of this working, but I'd be interested to see. Again, I don't think it would work with every game, but I think there's some games it could be really neat.
What was the superhero game that we played? The superhero office drama
Dispatch.
game? Dispatch.
Yeah.
That's another example.
I mean, by the time we played it, it was all just, here's the full game.
But they did have a chapter
They did do some
format.
sequential stuff. Like a lot of the Telltale games have done
Telltale
that
games
to a lot of success.
Wolf Among Us, yeah. So, like, the one cool thing about this particular way of doing it, and we see it very clearly in Deltarune, is they are sort of improving as they go.
Yeah.
And as you get new chapters, like, you get surprised by the quality has been really increased for development. You know, they've done more to make the game just feel like better and different.
Yeah.
So like that, if they were doing, I would say that would probably not work for like the biggest Nintendo franchises like Mario or Zelda, but for like smaller franchises, that could be a really interesting way for Nintendo to experiment with what it feels like to have sort of a running development on something, because I think that's what makes Deltarune kind of cool, is that like when we got to chapter 5, we were like, oh, wow, you've like improved a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, it's a little different in that like our one chapter ends, it's like, all right, now we need to make the next one.
Yeah.
Versus some of these others, it's like we're banking them and we're spreading them out. And I think that release timing is really important to nail. Of like, you can wait too long and people are like, moved on.
No more interest.
Because that is something that happened to me in Deltarune for sure. Is like, it's a year later. It's like, I need to get back into remembering
like what happened
everything
a year
that happened,
ago?
all the characters, all the relationships of everything. Like, that is a bit of something that you got to get back to. Like, Deltarune has a huge, like, super engaged fan base, so it's less of an issue for them. But, like, I don't know, if you did something like this weekly, that's how they do it with a lot of TV shows. I don't know if it was, like, monthly, that might be too much. So
It's kind of cool to do, like, seasons, almost like a TV show, too.
Yeah.
Where you can do, like, I feel like this could work for, like, a Pokemon game somehow. where you can do like a season of something where you
mean like a spring, summer,
yeah,
fall sort of thing?
and then you see like specific,
literally the season? Oh, and the game changes?
The game kind of changes. I don't know. There's some creative things that you can maybe experiment with, but the challenge of keeping people engaged for a long period of time can be pretty tough, and
especially these days.
Especially these days, and Nintendo probably doesn't want to risk that.
Yeah. Why don't we just roll into the games we're playing? You have a Deltarune update.
I do, which is this game is real hard at the end.
You're stuck.
I'm stuck.
At the final boss, it sounds like.
I'm stuck at the final boss. No. I played it for almost 3 hours last night.
The final boss?
Yeah. What? Over and over and over again, and I couldn't get it. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
Are you asking me to do it for you? Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm going to try a little bit more, but if you have any advice.
Well, we're recording the spoiler cast on Monday, so you better figure it out.
And I got to go to Comic-Con Wednesday.
Yeah, so you better figure it out.
What do I do?
Figure it out.
I kind of don't love the difficulty spike at these final bosses. It's pretty hard.
Yeah, I remember the last one also had a pretty tricky final boss.
There's something about this control input that it's making you do.
Mean? Oh, in this boss specifically.
That I'm really
Don't spoil.
really having a hard time.
What the spoiler cast is for.
I will not spoil what that is, but I'm just having a really hard time with it. And I looked up. I was on Reddit and I was like looking up what other people had advice. Some people were like something specific with the Switch version. Of this, and the inputs are weird. Like,
interesting.
And lots of people jumped in. I was like, I have the same problem.
Oh.
But you beat it.
It took me a few tries, but I did finish it. Yeah, I finished it. Now I'm mopping up on all the other side stuff.
Okay. Oh
man. Well, see you Monday.
Okay. All right.
Hope it works for you.
Oh.
I mean, I could just do it for you.
No.
Okay.
Won't let
all right. We played some Rhythm Heaven multiplayer, Rhythm Heaven Groove. And we actually have that in a video that now is up on Patreon. It's going to be exclusive to Patreon of us playing through all the multiplayer stuff in this game. And
we were both really pleasantly surprised.
Wow, there's a lot.
Yeah, that was the takeaway, that there is so much in that multiplayer that I didn't even think was there.
Yeah.
And it's all really fun. Like, there are some that are co-op, some that are competitive. Surprisingly, a lot of depth, because you basically kind of like start with the first row of mini games, and then they get harder and harder.
Yes.
So you kind of test your skills more and more as they increase in difficulty. And it's good. They're fun. We were like laughing, and they were very, very imaginative, and some of them are really weird and in the best way. I loved it. It was great.
Are they all for up to 4 players? They seem to be.
So
that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I do wonder what it's like though if there was like a big skill gap, especially on the cooperative ones.
Oh,
if like one person was just constantly failing,
ruining it for you.
Because some of those game over conditions were like, that's kind of harsh.
Very brutal.
We found
one hit.
Yeah, so maybe if you have somebody who is not super up to speed on this, maybe go.
Don't play with them.
Maybe go to the competitive and just stomp them a little bit.
Don't play with them.
Don't play with them. Wow.
Just ban them.
Wow.
You can add CPU players too. So if you were playing by yourself, you can use the CPU players, I think.
Yeah, CPU players will be there.
For the co-op.
And they won't screw you up, but they're also not going to help you out.
No, they're like very in the middle.
They're just kind of there.
Yeah.
Right. You did get to see it's kind of tricky to record footage for this game. You got to see though all the pop-ups that they give you when you're on TVs. What did you think of that?
Oh.
I was like, we need to calibrate your TV, do this if you need to change it.
Yes, because we had to connect it to the capture.
Right.
And it did. It had like all the stuff that was like...
That is a TV experience.
Yeah, connected to this thing. Is your TV going to be able to run this properly?
Yeah,
and then you have to do the calibration. Yeah. It's kind of a lot. It's a little like... I don't know. It's a little off-putting.
I don't love that. Honestly, having gone through that process a couple times,
it's truly meant to be like a handheld experience.
I mean, I don't know what the solution is, because you do need to make sure it works, and TVs are different, and
and like you don't want the player to have like some sort of off sync.
Oh, this doesn't work.
Experience, and you're like, well, I hate this. This doesn't work. Right. You know, I'm having a bad time. But yeah, I blame
the Tomodachi robot voice. That shouldn't be in this game.
Why don't they have just no voice at all?
Even if you turn it off, it's there when you do those screens. I turned it off, but then it's like back, and I just irked me.
You should just not. They don't need voice acting for this.
I agree.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
The game is fine with just the little text prompts or whatever.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it is. It's a little off-putting for sure.
Check out the video on Patreon though, because we had a really good time
fun.
with it. Really good. And then I've been checking out Densha Attack.
Densha Attack.
Not Densha Attack.
Attack.
Densha Attack. All one word.
Share an A.
Yes, shared A. And this game came out last week, got really, really good reviews.
Yeah.
And this was one that I had been keeping my eye on a little bit. And I was like, I'm just going to have to play this because I don't know exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. And I think there is a demo for this, I believe, that I was like, I'll just get the full game. So,
yeah.
But if you feel that way, you could probably check out the demo. This is a very unique experience that is really cool. So
it's like a train. You play as the train.
You're the train, and it's in this like futuristic Japan where.
But it's very bright and colorful and beautiful to look at. Fast-paced.
Yeah, the graphics are really nice.
Yeah.
But it takes place across Japan. They're like real locations.
Okay.
In Japan. So
That's
you're
fun.
kind of like going up Japan and it's like, oh, we're stopping here, we're stopping here. It's like,
okay.
Oh, I've heard of that, or I've seen there's such and such castle. Yes, great.
Cool.
Good. But it's like racing meets score-based tricks most of the time. That is most of the stages where it's like get to the end as fast as you can and rack up is kind of like a Tony Hawk style like tricks, different things that you can do that rack up your score.
Yeah. Is it like on rails?
So yes, it's a train. So you're on a rails, but there are often many different rails at your disposal.
Jump to or
right,
or pick.
And some of them might be a shortcut. Some of them are train rails. Some of them are like grindy rails where you go on your side like a skateboard, and then that becomes a different mechanic. You can go on walls. You jump off. So you can jump. You can jump off the track and go on the side of a wall, which is very cool. In a tunnel now, I can go off the track and go 360 around.
Oh.
There are some, this is not a lot, there's like the train transformed into a boat because I went on water, and that was a bit more freeform.
Transformed?
Yes, this is like anything, it's like anything goes in this game, which is like really exciting, but it is a very skill-based game, and like they do kind of throw a lot at you.
Is it hard?
It's kind of like a lot of it is like a test of your reflexes. Of like, hey, can you remember to do that one thing? How to do that one thing we told you to do? Do it right now.
Oh.
Because you're going really fast.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now you need to blow the horn to get the gate to open. It's like, oh my God, which button is that? Or it's like, oh, you need to jump up and do a trick.
It's almost like muscle memory.
So that you'll hit the gate and have the thing go that way. And there's a lot of depth to the controls, and even now, like I played it for a few hours, even now they're still introducing different things that you can do. It's like, oh, there's a lot to this game, and if you know me, I don't really get into the tricks high score stuff too much, so I usually end up with a good completion time, but a pretty low score on the tricks. It's like I'm doing them, but it's like there must be some way to really max out these tricks, but I just kind of don't really care.
You're just trying to get to the level.
So much about it. I'm just trying to like enjoy the level for what it is, and like see the scenery is like really, really cool.
Yeah, the game has a really cool look.
Yeah.
For sure.
There are also, this game has bosses that you may not expect, where it's like there's like an enemy train who's doing something that you need to counter. There was one who was like, they were throwing like baseballs at you, and you needed to jump and like do a trick at the right time to hit the ball back.
Oh, interesting.
Or there's some there were like a little like burnout like where it's like, oh, you need to catch up and then ram them off the track. That was cool. But there are a couple stages that I've done that have been very cool, where it's kind of like a big self-enclosed circuit, and because normally it's like get from point A to point B.
Right.
This is like you're going in circles almost, but there's a lot of different paths that you can take, and it's like do these 3 objectives in whatever order you want in this as part of this big circuit.
It's like a dome.
Yeah, and it's like there'll be a lot of branches. Like, do you want to turn left or do you want to turn right? You pick a side.
Right.
I'm going to go over here and do this objective, and then I'm going to come back to the main area, and then I go this way to do this. And it's like, oh, well, I didn't do it, so now I need to circle back and go do it again. I didn't expect that, and I thought that was pretty neat. So they really get a lot out of this idea.
Yeah. Seems to have a lot more depth than we initially thought.
It really does. I mean, especially considering like I didn't exactly know what this game was.
Right. It's a little hard to show and explain.
It is, but I'm really liking it. It's very unique. But again, just like the general aesthetic is great. Like the music is super good. You see me, I've been listening to some of that lately.
Yeah,
I've been
it sounds
really
really cool.
enjoying that. A lot of these games get positioned. It's like, oh, this is like a Dreamcast game, and this is definitely a game where I've seen people make like fake Dreamcast
Like box art or
box
whatever.
art.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, like, you know what? Is it a Dreamcast game or is it just Jet Set Radio? Is the game that
Is the game,
And I was
yeah.
like, there's a lot of games that get called that. Like Splatoon got called a Dreamcast game back then.
Yeah.
What was the game that came out they shut down the studio at Microsoft? The kind of rhythm action game. Now I'm blanking. Hi-Fi Rush.
Oh, Hi-Fi Rush.
That's what I was like. Oh, it's a Dreamcast game. It's like I think the comp for all of these is just Jet Set Radio.
Okay.
And I was like, is Jet Set Radio like secretly one of the most influential games
Like of all time.
that nobody played?
Yeah.
But constantly gets references. This is a dream. This represents this entire platform.
Could be.
This entire era.
It's iconic.
Dreamcast era did not go very long.
Right.
And there's
Maybe
actually,
that's why.
And there's actually not a ton of games.
Maybe that's why.
So I just think that's interesting. It's like, okay, is it the Dreamcast game or is it just Jet Set Radio?
Okay.
But anyways, like this game is really cool. I think it's really special. It's very, very unique. So
And
if
you're playing on Switch 2.
I'm playing on Switch 2. Runs great. I mean,
Okay.
it's super fast, super smooth.
I was going to say, yeah, does it run well?
Runs great.
There you go.
So I definitely recommend this if
Nice.
you're just like looking for something a little different. If you're
Yeah.
just getting a little tired of like
If
the
you want
same
to play a
old
Jet Set Radio game.
kind of game. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Let's check in with our Patreon subscribers on a poll because last week we did a video on your gaming pillow, which was a cool accessory that you were saying about just because you think it's uncomfortable to play the Switch 2 in handheld for a long time. So we did this poll of how do people play the Switch 2 and specifically wondering like have you changed up from the Switch 1 to the Switch 2?
Right, because it's a little bit
Because it is bigger, it is heavier. 40% of people said they prefer to play docked. 32% said it's about 50-50.
Okay.
25% they prefer to play handheld, and 4% said they don't have a Switch 2.
Okay.
But let's look at some specific comments. Blazing says, I was a lot younger when the Switch 1 came out, 5th grade, I believe.
Oh my God.
I spent a lot more time at home, so playing docked only made sense for me at the time. Now that I'm older and I have a full-time job, I am a full-time student and I'm on athletic scholarship.
Wow.
Essentially, the only times I have to play games are on my lunch breaks at work or other small random times throughout the day.
So now it's handheld.
So lifestyle does play a big part in it.
Yeah.
Blazing is not really at home the way that they used to be, so
Yeah,
that makes
that's
sense.
Cool.
Francis Magote says, I'm 100% handheld. We don't have a TV at home.
A lot of people don't have TVs anymore.
I would love to. I'm always in search of actual data of like what is the trend of people not having a TV.
I think it's very high.
But I would like to know.
Yeah.
It seems like it's growing rapidly.
It's very high.
But I would like to know the number.
And then everyone just watches stuff on their laptop.
Right, on some other device.
Or like some iPad
Yeah.
or something.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So
I have heard that.
So that's a big and growing factor that's working.
I don't have a TV.
Well, you kind of do.
It's a projector.
You have a projector.
But it's not a TV.
But it's you have a dedicated. This device is used to watch media.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of device.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Wendell Shoemaker said, it really depends on what game I'm playing. Overall, I probably balance out to be 60% docked, 40% handheld. But if I'm playing a big meaty game, I'm probably playing 80% docked. But more casual or indie games, I'm likely to play handheld. The Switch 2 is both more comfortable in handheld and less comfortable.
Yeah.
The bigger screen and buttons, as well as better stand and top charging port, make it a much better handheld experience, but the bigger, heavier design makes it hard to hold for long. I got the D-brand Joy-Lock grips, and it completely fixed my issue with the handheld, and it made the Joy-Con more comfortable to hold when detached or using mouse mode. My family and friends also got the grip for their Switch 2s and really like them.
Nice.
So maybe that's another future poll is like, do you use some sort of a grip or accessory to make handheld mode a bit more comfortable?
Yeah, because I had to seek that out for myself
Very,
too.
very interesting to delve into this though.
Yeah, you're like what, 80% docked?
Yeah, it's really like unless I'm
Traveling.
leaving the house,
Yeah.
I'm doing it docked if I can.
Yeah, like on an airplane, obviously. You're
Yep.
gonna, yeah.
Yep.
Makes sense. Although on the airplane recently, you've been playing tabletop.
It's the same thing.
Coffin.
If you're in a real small seat,
you're doing
learn the coffin method.
You're doing your sarcophagus.
Put the switch 2
method
on the little tray table, and then hold it like this.
Like you're an Egyptian king.
Because I found that the problem with playing on a plane is they say, oh, it's leg room. It's like, yeah, I'm a little bit taller, so the leg room is a problem. It's the arm stuff.
It's also
and
like the elbows.
It's very uncomfortable to rest your elbow on that thing. It starts to hurt. So if you do the coffin method, you're just resting it on your body.
Yeah,
so
nice
it's
soft
not like,
meat.
Oh, my elbow. You don't have to worry about that. Yes, just soft body meat.
Your body meat.
My 40 pounds of muscle that I gained overnight. Yes.
Don't tear your bicep playing a Switch 2 on the airplane now.
Flexing out on an airplane. Yeah, so it's very interesting, all the different ways. Yeah, you have a pillow.
I have a pillow.
And you have a pillow. Great. Wow. Check us out at patreon.com/Kit and Krysta. We got a lot of great stuff happening over there.
Yes, always. We're also on the social. We're on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Blue Sky, and Threads.
If you're watching this on video, you can subscribe over there. You can leave us a comment. And we are still posting these videos up on Spotify. We got a lot of great comments about where
sometimes it
and when
works. Sometimes
we're still learning. Thanks for your patience.
Yes.
We'll figure it out. But that's been interesting. And if you're listening on audio, you can do all that stuff too.
Please do.
Thank you.
All right, let's shout out some wonderful Patreon community members, starting with Final Boss, Aaron Hesh.
There he is.
Okay.
Oh.
And superstars, Eigenverse,
Mike Chin,
Roy Eschke,
VGM Life,
Link, the hero of winds,
Angela Bycroft,
Thomas O'Rourke,
Kyle LaBeouf,
Andrew Uhas,
Chris Shuri,
Master Discord,
Travis Torline,
Emerson Poke Gamer,
R. Burns,
Kit 10K,
Nathan Clover,
The Shark Among Men,
Rain Tech,
Kiss My Flopjack,
Paul Gale Network,
Cameron,
Catch Silly Nerdy,
Zudorf,
David Williams Conky Gamers,
David,
Khalifa Al Suwaidi,
and newest superstar Fen O'Connor.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome.
We're on a roll with the superstars. I can't believe it.
It's amazing.
It's wonderful.
I love it.
Welcome all.
All right. The Scrolling One-Up Club starts now. Aaron Burgundy.
Ad Cool 2000.
Adrian W.
Age 1000.
Ian Evelith.
Ale Alejandra.
Ali McLovin.
Alejandra Orozco Borrega.
Andy Robinson.
Angel A.
Andrew Jojo.
Anthony Keir.
Aristu.
Art 64.
Artisan 64.
Astra Dev.
Asurax.
Awesome 46.
Bino.
Barnstorm.
Bates.
Berserker.
Bob Cleffin.
Booze Toast.
Brandon Kavapel.
Brovac Novak.
Cashew.
Cedric Benson.
Chadir.
Chelly Squirrel.
Kai X.
Crispy Saurus.
Christopher Lay.
Chunky Conga.
Colleen Finnegan.
Cool Blue.
Connor.
Cosmic Titan 718.
CP Coaster Lover.
Captain Alex.
C Roper 17.
Cruz and Garza.
Cyan Folds.
Staffers.
Dag DeLeo.
Dallas E.
Dane.
Dennis M2.
Doghead.
Doinko.
Dre.
Dr. Saturn.
Dubs 496.
Dude Dad Life.
Eccentric Tony.
Elite Peach.
Eric Baxter.
Espars 50.
Furbound.
Fernie and Just Forever.
Fox Deploy.
Funky Fresh.
Gabriel Blaze.
Gamer Nerd 78.
Gary.
Garth the Wolf.
Gartooth.
Gianni.
Guilty Phoenix 42.
Ganiko Joe.
Hannah is funky.
Hea Jose.
Iris Marin.
It's your boy J-Hove.
Ivan.
J Rando.
Chad Dawes.
Jack Albert.
Jahari Garcia.
Jake the Snake 22X.
Jameson Eisenberg.
J Bar.
Jerry 92602.
Jim Wakeland.
JLP Second.
Joe Encarnacion.
Jonathan Rowe.
John Conboy.
Jordan Hemmerly.
Joris.
Joshua Clement.
Gigi Fruit.
Justin Lemminger.
J Wolf.
Kaylin.
Katie Estep.
Kawa 2796.
Kevin Delane.
Katrina.
Kay Hooper.
Kilo Kibo.
Christy Eckert.
Kyle Gamer Berry Rookie.
Kyle 325.
Kyle Kretzer.
Larry Fitzpatrick.
Lazy Cat for Coffee.
Leo Rao.
Lex.
Litton.
Logan Affleck.
Luke Hayabusa.
Luna B.
Lynn.
Matcha Potato.
Mac the Cat.
Mad Dog 5981.
Magnificent Easy G and Callie Marie.
Mario Man 392.
Marky Man 64.
Mary Cohen Colson.
Matthias.
Maverick Nate.
Megan.
May plus Leon.
Michael Mazer.
Michael Wong.
Mikey Macaroni.
Mr. Rhino 7.
Motomania.
Mr. Andy Pond.
Mr. Beans and Dip.
Mr. Bendu 101.
Mr. Underscore.
My Tran.
Nasir.
Nabia Reeves.
Naif E.
Oh, sorry. Naive. Nabia Reeves. Nintendo 64.
Ninja 11.
Ninja Black Belt.
Novaru.
One of a kind.
Orion.
Panky.
Patrice Millette.
Pave the Way.
Peach Booty.
Paramar.
Prime Factor.
Prince Charmless.
PS Switch.
Punky.
Quintet.
Reckless Thomas.
Rob M.
Bravo.
Rob Y.
Robbie DLC.
Romsky 113.
Rocks.
Ryan Haas.
Ryanetta.
Stalkin 20XX.
Scott Seward.
Sebastiano Garase.
Sharif Jackson.
Shinryu.
Shiny Elizabeth.
Slowbro.
Shump.
Schnazzle.
Macy Poo.
Spicy Munchkin.
Star Fox Jubilation.
Stuart Radley.
Swan Bow.
Pseudo Priest.
Shriek.
21 Sick Productions.
Tales of Link.
Metallica. Tamer Rhymes with Hammer.
Tanuki Dragoon.
Tay 120 and 64.
Tamer rhymes with Tamer.
Teal Fox 64.
The Kickers.
The Quiet One.
Thomas Alvarez.
Three Rivers.
Torchy.
Totally Joed.
Totomaru.
Trijowie.
Trevor Collins.
Tugs Puppy Bear.
Tuskoob.
Ty Bear the Bear.
Tyler Geis.
Victor NK.
Vidge Mictor.
Vinny O Games.
Viridian.
Virtual Bot.
Waffles.
WG Grizzy.
Wicked Davy.
William George.
Yummy.
YJ Choi.
Zach.
Zelgaroth.
Zapanty.
Zero Link.
Zoo.
Zabear Fentus.
Defentis.
Yes. Shout out to Doinko, who we've been working with. He's making a game.
Yes, Doinko.
Which is
My
incredible.
goodness. What a
And he just
feat.
released a release date for his game. It's called Royalty Free For All. It's coming August 11th.
It's happening.
Super cool game. Check it out.
Yes.
Look it up.
You should look it up. It's a really cool game.
Yes. We are wrapping up our World Cup Corner
no!
segments. This is the last one
so
until
sad.
2030, when Fallout 5 will be in pre-production. Thoughts on the finale of the World Cup?
I think we both agreed that the best team did win.
I was very dominating by Spain.
Dominating win by Spain.
Yes.
There was a lot of memery and just interesting jokes happening around this really weird phenomenon that happened where Lionel Messi had met one of the star players of the Spanish team, a very young plair.
Yeah, when he was like a baby.
When he was
literally
a baby. And there are photos
and he bathed him.
of a young Messi bathing a baby,
Yes.
Yamin, right? Is that his
Yes.
name? And there was all these memes that were like, if you let the baby escape, they'll come back and defeat you one day.
Yeah.
And the comps were like Simba and Scar
Right.
and Harry Potter and Voldemort and so on and so
I
forth.
thought it was a very entertaining.
very entertaining.
Final, even though it was very one-sided. But it's like, boy, at some point they do need to break through and score a goal.
I mean, that keeper or goalie, whatever you want to call it, from the Argentinian keeper was
incredible.
Absolutely beast.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Amazing.
they could have been way worse for them.
Are you going to try and keep up with soccer/football?
Absolutely
No.
not.
No.
I
think a lot of people now are
I'm
like,
such a bandwagon
okay,
fan.
I got a taste of this. I'm interested. I need to find, or I need to pick up a club team that I'm going to become a fan of.
I'm not going to.
I'm open to that, but I need to really work out the specifics of how it would work.
How is that going to work? Sounds so hard.
What do you mean?
Well, which club team is Jude
don't
Bellingham on? We'll just do that one.
I don't know if he still is. I think Real Madrid,
Great, that's the one.
which from what I've heard sounds like a train wreck at the moment, but what do you care?
I'm not looking for that.
All right, you can just follow him on Instagram.
I do. He's very fashionable.
Again, your search history: Jude Bellingham thirst traps.
Perfect. When he that third place game that they were playing.
Oh, now we're talking about the third place
The ridiculous,
game.
stupid third place game.
great.
I was like I was at a bar watching that game.
Where you often find yourself.
No,
Yeah.
I was just watching the game in a public place, and Jude Bellingham didn't play in the beginning of the game, and he kind of came in the last 20 minutes or so. And when he was getting into the game, he took his shirt off to weigh in for whatever, do his thing for the game. The entire place, men, women, everyone, erupted
There's your 40 pounds of muscle right
in
there.
cheers.
Yeah.
It was like jubilation for
Jubilation.
People were so into
All right, it's time to wrap up World Cup Corner.
It's great.
I'm so happy for you. If you're at Comic-Con, come find us.
Oh, yeah,
Drop
come
us a
say hi.
line. We'd love to meet up.
Yes.
We'll be there.
All right,
Hanging
I'll
out.
see you guys later.
All right, bye.